that bloody good, Phil Hurton. Oh, Harry Prosser gets dropped. The excitement is building. The crowd is here.
Oh, why not, mate? Well, g'day footy fans and welcome to Pertaringer Oval up here at beautiful Tea Tree Gully. Magnificent day. It's round 6, Tea Tree Gully versus Prince Alfred Old Collegians in the Adelaide Footy League Division 1 season. Last year they played in the preliminary, but after starting 2-3, a spot in the 5 is hard to come by. Right now, one team has it, the other wants it, and only one may get it come finals time. Never in doubt, our Filming Footy sponsors. Let's have a look at them right now. Archie's Footwear, Belgravia Apparel, New Balance, Neomorph Mouthguards, Hahn, Sportal, Wakefield Sports Exercise Clinic, Farmers Leap Winery, Police Credit Union, Dartfish and the Moseley Bar and Kitchen. Coming up, it's Tea Tree Gully hosting Prince Alfred Old Collegians. A big difference between 3-3 and 2-4. Thanks to Filming Footy, this is the Adelaide Footy League. Welcome folks, it is game day and let's have a chat about what's coming up here. Tea Tree Gully versus Prince Alfred Old Collegians, and joining me is Adam Jeffries on my left and Lachlan Gould on my right. My name is Tony Neal and let's talk about that front half theory first of all, and coaches talk about getting that ball into the first half, Adam, but it's not easy to do. How do they go about it? Is it quick transition?
Nah, for mine, it's forcing turnovers, Tony. Yeah, you got to get the ball in your front half and lock it in and turn the ball over. And when you're a coach or a player, you just feel a little bit more relaxed when the ball's in your front half, don't you? So you can set the ground up and do what you want to do.
And I guess the extension of that is when the ball is in the back half, they're saying get it in the front half, and yet we see coaches say play tempo, slow it down, go backwards.
Oh, that's where the forwards' mindset has to shift, Tony, from I need to score to I need to help us get the ball out. So, and that comes down to coaching midweek game structures, and that's been modern footy for probably the last 10 years, and it's certainly crept into Division 1 in the last 5 or 6 seasons. So both teams will be well adapted to that. They've got plenty of experience on the field.
All right, we'll come across, Lachlan, the battle of the big men. Of course, Blake Penny in ruck, one of the leading players in the league here, up against Prince Alfred. We'll see what they've got up there. But we talk about win the tap. If you win the tap, you should really win the clearance. And yet, if we go to the Filming Footy stats, we'll often see a team winning the tap, yet the opposition wins the clearances. How do you think it'll go today?
Oh, I don't know. I'm really excited to see how that battle unfolds. I think there's certainly merit in that theory around if your ruck wins the tap, you should be able to then tap it down to your midfielders who should win the clearance. But if the statistics tell a different story, that's something to keep in mind.
Yeah, and it's an interesting one. You'll be down on the boundary, so we'll test you out as the game goes on. Come across, Adam, the turnovers. I interviewed Craig Pitt the other night, and he did talk about pressure and those goals from turnovers. And what excites us about today is I called a Tea Tree Gully game here recently, and against Port Districts that went down to the wire last kick of the day. Exactly the same. So the opposition will have the ball, kick it out, and all of a sudden there's a wall of Tea Tree Gully players. How easy is that to set up and get that pressure going for the turnover?
It's easy to set up, and that's where the goals are scored in modern footy, Tony. You know, about 70% of your goals come from turnover. Yeah. Turn the ball over in your front half, you'll often score because the opposition don't have time to reset. So that's where the game will be won and lost today.
All right, let's finish with pressure, because pressure can be internal, it can be visual. So once again, as Adam said, it can be looking at Tea Tree Gully, setting up, it could be physical, and is the scoreboard also an area of pressure?
Yeah, scoreboard can definitely lead to some perceived pressure, I think, so it'll be something to keep in mind for both teams, not to let it get too far away.
All right, we've got a big game coming up, folks. Tea Tree Gully versus Prince Alfred Old Collegians, a magnificent day out here. Take care, and we'll be back after this ad break.
Get a quick and easy low-rate car loan from Police Credit Union today.
We've been housemates for, what, nearly 4 years?
Yep, basically since I started my uni degree and you got your apprenticeship.
It's been really good. Like, it's the little things, you know? Like, one of us is always around to house it when the other goes on holiday. And one of us is always ready to help the other out of jam.
I don't know. Yeah, happen again. It's usually me. My HECS debt doesn't leave a lot of room for holidays or working transportation or food. But it's worth all the debt, right?
No.
But what about your debt?
Debt isn't a problem for me. I get paid to learn.
You belong in blue. Apply for a career with South Australia Police.
Well, welcome back, folks. As you can see, magnificent day down here. Tea Tree Gully versus Prince Alfred Old Collegians. My name is Tony Neal. I'm joined by Adam Jeffries. Of course, we've got Lachlan Gould on the boundary for this massive game, absolutely massive game. Let's have a look at the ladder. Righto, Adam, what do you make of that? 5th versus 8th, but the logjam here.
Yeah, exactly what I was going to say, Tony, the logjam. So between 3rd and 8th on the ladder, not a lot of difference, is there? I like Tea Tree Gully's form for mine. Prince Alfred won their first 2. They've dropped 3 in a row. They've got a couple of handy ins today that are going to help. Tea Tree Gully for mine have been pretty good. A couple of narrow losses against the real top teams. Got the big win they wanted last week. Their percentage is above that 50% mark, which shows that they've been pretty competitive. But as you said, you'd rather be 3-3 than 2-4 at the end of today.
Yeah, so I had a look at the ladder as well. 2 and 3 for both, so 3 and 3 versus 2-4. But the fours and against, of course, Tea Tree Gully 407-4, so they're up around the mark, and their backline, well, they're 4th on the ladder in regards to their backline, even though they're in 5th position. We go down to Prince Alfred, they've only scored the 320, so they're they are 3rd bottom in that scoring. So we'll see whether their forward line can get functioning today. But the big one for me there is their 425 against, so the back line appears to be a little bit leaky for my liking. And, well, we have a look at Tea Tree Gully. Of course, the goal scorers there, Martin with 12, West with 10 and Latham with 8. So the back line is really going to have their hands full. So here we are, Tea Tree Gully. Over 800 senior and junior players. It's massive amounts, all going well. Formed in 1862, I think it was about 21 when the team got formed, 162 years ago. They won their first ever Adelaide Footy League Division 1 flag in 2018, and we were down there for that and quietly reminded of it. Won Division 2 flag in 2020, replaced Athelston in Division 1 for the 21 season, and of course away they went. And there's a little bit of look at their recent years. What do you make of that, Adam?
Yeah, we can see they've been a pretty consistent club, haven't they? I coached against them in those 2018 season, and they were a powerhouse club, relegated the next year, dominated the Division 2 competition, and just super consistent since they've been back. And probably incredibly won a couple of finals last year and made a preliminary final sort of out of nowhere. So for mine, they're just a super consistent Division 1 club, very well coached, one of the probably top coaches in the competition. You can see the difference he makes when he was there. When he wasn't there in 2022, they were a little bit disorganised. But Justin's a really good coach, and they look set to maybe sneak into that 5th spot again for mine this year again, Tony.
And what I do like is some teams get down into Division 2 and they get stuck there. They can't get back up. They were there for 1 year and got back up. And I can remember saying they lost half the suburb after that next year when they were in Division 1, and I thought, gee, they're going to be down here for a long time. But, as you said, great coaching, and they've got the depth. So here's our team lineup and players to watch here. Obviously, Luke Brown in there. Christopher Olsen came out and interviewed him a couple of weeks ago. Outstanding young man, and he's a really good runner. Zach Mackay today plays his 250th game as well, so great recognition for Zach. And Jordan Personos down there, number 33, it's his 100th today as well. Other players that you might want to look at through there?
Yeah, like I said, obviously after last week, Tyler Martin kicked 6 last week against St. Peter. 6 is a big bag in Division 1, so he's a player to watch. He doesn't always play forward, Tony. I've watched Tea Tree Gully play the last couple of seasons, and he can play either end of the field. He's a great swing man for Coach Machota. I'm sure he'll start forward today after the 6 last week. Really excited to see Luke Brown back. We weren't sure if he was going to play football this year. I believe this is his first game for the season. He may be a tad rusty, but I'd have a rusty Luke Brown in my team any day of the week, Tony.
Yes, and you mentioned that Tyler Martin. I look at last week, Noah Hyde, Cody Tape, Joshua Spence, Christopher Howard, and they have got a couple of swingmen that can play both ends of the ground. And I remember the game up here, I reckon it was round 2 against Port Districts. They had 3 on the bench that they couldn't get back on, and spoke to Adam afterwards, and he said we were just putting blokes in where we could, but we knew they fitted there. The other one I like is Brodie Latham. He's just exciting up forward, and of course big Blake Penny. We call him Tickets, but we have a bit of fun. He's just grown and grown each year, and he's one of the outstanding players in the league, of course, and he's a fantastic. He's one of those ones. He leads by example, so you'll see him a lot today getting around the ground.
Prince Alfred history. How long they've been around, Tony? Only 155 years.
Yeah.
So we'll whiz through this. Commence the Old Scholar Club 98 years ago, so they'll be excited to have a 100-year celebration coming up soon. They're the 3rd oldest current club behind Adelaide, Uni and Kenilworth. That's a pretty impressive stat. Won their first A1 flag in 2016 and have been a powerhouse Division 1 club since that time, Tony. Only this year is probably the first time in a while that they're potentially going to be in a relegation battle. First time in about 8 seasons. So they've been a super consistent Division 1 team. And you can see there through the numbers there. 2018, a little bit of a downer. 2019 lost the grand final by 4 points. 2020 in the shortened season lost a couple of finals after finishing second on the ladder. Was clearly the best team in 2021 and 2023 and lost the grand final in between. So can't do much better than that in a run in Division 1, can you, Tony?
And those last 3 years, I interviewed Craig Pitt the other night. It's quite unique in the Adelaide Footy League, playing coach. We've got 3 in Division 1. We might touch on that later on. But he's coached 3 grand finals for 2 wins as a playing coach. And look at their lineup there. And it is star-studded. We talk about that. Lachlan McNamara. Sumner's out today, the co-captain, so that'll be interesting how they cover. They are bringing in a lot of young players as well now, Craig mentioned. The one I really liked, I watched some vision this morning, and we talk about it, Hayden Jolly. You look at him and you think, oh, okay, I wonder if he's just going to get out of the square. This is what I'll say, he is an athlete, because he can get down back and help out when they're switching the play, and then all of a sudden you see him up forward kicking goals as well. So just a sensational player out there. Ben Siebels, Hayden Jolly, Mitch Wicks last week. The worrying bit last week, only 4 goal scorers in that loss against Glenunga. They led.
Kicked the first 5 goals. Kicked the first 5 goals of the match last week. So as I look at their team sheet now, with Brazel and Jaden Davis available, they both have SANFL duties. They're both SANFL listed players this year. Some weeks they're not available, but they're both playing today, which is fantastic. Hayden Jolly's been an elite Division 1 player for 10 years, Tony, and his performance has not dropped off this year, even as he's getting older. Lachlan McNamara could have easily been best on ground in last year's grand final as well. Good to see the Ianello brothers who switched over from Unley. I coached them over there, and they're good Prince Alfred boys. So they've still got a strong lineup, but I think the stat early in the year was they've only got 8 or 9 players playing from last year's grand final.
Yes.
So it is a turnover. There's young school leavers sprinkled in with some experienced players, but with Jaden Davis and Brazel on the team sheet, they are a chance of putting a score on the board today.
There's something new. The umpire's come out with his, hope he hasn't got a 6-pack in that little sack there. And here's our other games, of course, today. Sacred Heart versus Port District. That looks to be an absolute belter. St. Peter's, can they get a win? Brighton Bombers just chugging along there. Payneham Norwood Union and Broadview Tigers. I thought Broadview would be the strong team this year. They've sort of up and down, and Payneham have really shown the way at times. And of course, Golden Grove not getting all their own way in Division 1. A big welcome to Division 1. And boy, oh boy, up against Glenunga today. At home, don't know that that's going to be much of an equaliser. Glenunga just so professional, and I think they're on a charter, Adam, to be honest.
Yeah, when you play Glenunga, you just get audited, and that's what will happen today out at Golden Grove. But Golden Grove are capable. Glenunga are not going to win all 18 matches, in my opinion, but they'll certainly have a tough game today. But they're all good matches. Even the St. Peter's Brighton Bombers game, that's, you want to stay out of relegation zone as well, don't you? So there's teams at the pointy end, there's teams in the logjam, and there's teams at the bottom trying to avoid relegation. As we can see, looks like they're honouring one of their champions here, Tony. I think I saw on their socials it was his 400th match today.
Daniel Golding, 400 games.
Is that all?
Longest, longest serving club captain, 2-time premiership A-grade player, 3 times A-grade best and fairest, as well as interleague back in the day when we would have the state games.
Pretty good effort.
So
I think that's why they moved the match up to the top oval here potentially for him today. So well done to him.
Correct. And well, Tea Tree Gully, I love it. The big roar as they run out, and they're all up and about, and Zach McKay out there sprinting out the front. So
there was a lot of spirit in that D-grade game, wasn't there? There was a bit going on.
I'll tell you what's happening down here today. Zach McKay, we mentioned 250 games. Tyler Martin, his 50th A-grade game. Jordan Personos, 100. Daniel Golding, 400. Paul Wood, 150. And it's also the Tea Tree Gully Past Players Day. So luckily we've got the van door closed, because it is huge and they do it well up here. The schedule on the main oval today, well, they had the C grade versus Prince Alfred. They had the D grade, as we just saw, versus Adelaide Uni. They've got the A grade here, and down on Balcana, the second oval down there, they had the B grade played versus Prince Alfred, and also the women's are playing at 3:15. So there's 5 games in around this venue.
Is that why it was hard to find a park when I got here, Tony? Very busy here at Tea Tree Gully today.
The other side of it, Adam, is when we show vision today, as we're just waiting on the captains to come in during the warm-ups, you drive in here today, the ground is chock-a-block. The cars around it, it's like coming to a country venue, and they flock in from everywhere, and it is absolutely huge down here in regards to the crowd, and we hope that the people at home all around Australia, around the world, around the suburb, are enjoying our broadcast that we're going to bring to you today. Just the siren going there, and not sure that the heat will make much of a difference. It's not going to be stinking hot. We'll get the weather soon, but the wind is out, and we've got Blake Penny just coming in now. So Big Blake, number 18. And we're waiting on Lachlan McNamara, number 16, to come in. And let's go now to Lachlan Gould.
Yes, boys, here we are down here inside the centre circle. Perfect conditions for today as we now have a look across at the coin toss. As you mentioned, the 2 captains in the middle, shaking hands. And we wait. Picked up, and there we go. So it is going to be It is going to be Prince Alfred. They're going to kick across behind me right now. This is perfect conditions for footy. There's no divots in the ground whatsoever, and the weather is brilliant. A little bit cold in the shade, but in the sun, it is perfect, boys, let me tell you. My prediction for this one, I'm going to back Tea Gully because they're at home. Back to you, boys.
Yeah, thanks very much for that, Lachlan. So, no real wind advantage by the looks of things, Adam, and they certainly have tidied this ground up from years ago, and they do a great job. It looks magnificent. The big cricket pitch area in the middle is going to be quite firm. What we can talk about is our game styles and pattern of play. Seeing Tea Gully this year, I've seen them myself as the co-chairman of Prince Alfred walks past, and magnificent Jim Parkinson there. Tea Gully, they do go around the outside at times, and you'll hear that through the call. When you go to the boundary, sometimes you get the boundary. Is it a set play? You've then got to set up, and you'll see big Blake Penny will come in, and I'll often look whether they try and tap backwards into the centre of the ground. I'll get a bit picky if there's no one behind the rucks, and how they're going to get those clearances, because he is an outstanding ruckman, but you've got to get those clearances as well.
Oh, the reason for mine that Blake Penny's a great player is he impacts the ground with his game with his marking around the ground, Tony. You know, there's in Division 1 games now, there's so many numbers around the ball that even elite tap work doesn't really reap any benefits. It's just who wants it more on the ground. So the ruckman needs to impact around the ground by taking marks behind the ball, sneaking forward at the right times, and that's what Blake Penny does really well for mine.
And I heard the call there years ago, and often use it. Lee Matthews says it's not who wins the tap, it's what happens next. And key performance indicator, if you win the tap and you put the ball on the ground, you're saying to the opposition, well, we don't want it, you can come and get it. Forward entries are going to be interesting today. Is it going to be the bomb, which is a little bit like Glenunga, where they bomb it in and you just get numbers around the ball and weight of numbers? Is it going to be kick to the opposite or the fat side? Is it going to be a straight up lead? A goal's going to come from around the 50-metre line. That's where you'll see the Brody Lathams come in. Maybe even a Zach Mackay coming off the wing, coming down. Are you going to see them? Is it Tyler Martin just standing strong at full forward? So our forward entries are going to be interesting. I know it sounds a normal thing to say, but the back lines are what we're looking at today as well. So it's a really contrast of both teams and how they work that ball back out.
Prince Alfred won't bomb the ball in. Davis and Brazel are lead and mark type players. They're not sit under the high ball type players. And Prince Alfred in the past, although they've lost some personnel this year, Tony, they've still got some skilled players, and it's a nice day to hit up a lead. So they won't bomb the ball. They'll try and maintain possession where they can.
Of course, our magnificent sponsors, Hahn Sportal for the scoreboard. Well, Hahn and Sportal, I should say. Dartfish giving us the replays. Wakefield Sports Exercise Clinic for the interchange. Interviews, Boundary Riders, a police credit union, and of course we have a magnificent array of post-match awards, and you can see the big crowd there building as it is past Players Day. There's probably as many inside as there is outside, and it all augurs for a great game. Umpires in readiness. You can see in there Tyler Martin, the vice captain, standing. Mitch Wicks. Umpire holds the ball aloft. They charge in. They don't actually get off the ground. Penny there almost took it by hand. Out it comes, just a quick kick around the corner. We talk about this heading towards the boundary. There is the man we spoke about, Latham to Mackay. Back to Noah Hyde. Little chip kick in. Where will they go from here? The setup. Jake Robinson, ball in hand. He's just creeped around that metre or so. Trying to
slow play now. I think he thinks he's going to have a ping, and we've spoken about this a lot in the call over the last few weeks. Players having set shots from sometimes beyond their reach. It'll be interesting to see if he sets the ball up or if it's rushed through on the line, or if he can carry the journey, Tony.
A long way out, isn't he? Winds up, fresh legs, doesn't quite hit it correctly. There's a mark, and
it's Tyler West.
Tyler West already.
They'll be disappointed with that.
Just goes around the corner.
Prince Alfred will be disappointed with that. That ball just sat up and was basically on the goal line, ready to thump through. And the key defenders, and I'm not sure this, as a coach, I'm sure Craig Pitt will have the replay out during the week. Ruckman needs to get back and spoil that over the line. So that's an easy goal for Tea Gully to start. Good confidence builder for the full forward to get a mark inside the first minute.
Yes, and well, they came out on that diagonal, didn't they, out here towards the boundary, and you see the three players got involved there, and it was Hyde and Mackay and, of course, Latham.
Just looking around, Luke Brown is starting forward, and Tyler Martin, who kicked the 6 last week, is playing on the ball. So he'll be trying to get a mismatched Dusty style and drift forward. So watch out for that, Tony.
And he's on the other side now of Macaulay, so that's interesting. There he is now as we speak. So he's got not quite the second clearance out. So around the corner, Prince Alfred, though, not quite inside the 50. There's a hold. Is it going to be play on? No, it's not. This is Thomas Brinsley. He's going to be 65 out. So he's going to look for this lead. This is the forward entry we were talking about. Just nudges it gently into that real hot spot. Cleared easily by Riley Verrill, but it's a bomb kick up and down. Jolly couldn't quite. Players jostle on the ground. Now it's a hat kick inside 50, second inside 50 and diving mark. It's a nice mark, that one, horizontal.
Trying to see that is. That's Ollie Clark. He's a very good mark for his size, Tony. He's been a sort of a wing half-forward player for Prince Alfred for many years, and he's a very good mark for his size. Just a rush kick. This is what you're talking about pre-match. That's just pressure, turnover in the front half, hat kick back inside 50, and well done. They get a shot on goal.
So Ollie Clark steps in. It was a great diving mark. Kicks from about 43 metres. Geez, I'll tell you what. Close. Reckon it's there. Well done, young man. He's kicked it. Ollie Clark, and often say, with respectfully, looks like he could have just stepped off horse 2 in race 3 at Morphettville, but he's here playing football, and that's a very nice kick. Just gets to the line there, and good start. So both teams, a little bit of a ding-dong battle early in the game.
Yeah, he's always been a good mark for his size, Ollie Clark, and like I said, that's just classic Division 1 football. Inside 50, deep entry, hat kick out from Teacher Gully, back into PAC numbers, hat kick back in, and they get the shot on goal. Good start to this match.
It is. We could, the way it's going, Adam, we could see a nice little shootout here, some good high scores. Penny goes up. You see those bodies in the middle, they do go body on body. McKay couldn't, so a hack off the ground, that'll do. Playing in front again, which you alluded to earlier. Nice kick there, and that was Ethan Bald. That was what we call champagne football. Nice lead up and good mark, Jaden Davison. We talked about those forward entries, and you're right on the spot, Adam, because they're not bombing in.
No, Jaden Davis is an elite lead out of the goal square type of medium-sized full forward. He's played 2 or 3 matches in the SANFL for the Crows this year, and don't want to put the commentator's curse on him, Tony, but he's normally a very good set shot from about 40 metres out here.
Left footer too.
He's the Division 1 leading goal kicker last year. And then the commentator's curse has hit, Tony.
That is it, because they're using a right-footed football. That's why, and he's kicked that with his left. So let's have a look at Tea Tree Gully's kick-in. So they do tend to go down the ground. Blake Penny's gone a long way out here. He's almost in the middle of the ground. So, and the sun's in the eyes of the fullback here kicking in. So he comes out to this side. That's plenty of distance. It's going to bounce. Good one-on-one battle here. Anyone's ball, you can hear it right here. That was Noah Hyde. He's going to get after it again. He's a ball hunter there. Bang, they go. Gee, that was a big collision. Jack Ionello and Lachlan on the boundary.
Yeah, just something I've gathered from the bench over at PAOC. They're looking to press up the field when the ball is inside their forward 50, boys.
All right, we'll keep an eye on that, because one team will press and the other team will flood, and it'll be 0-0 because we get congestion. All the players will be in one area. It's a good line-up here, Adam, at the moment. All the players on this half of the ground just about, and a long distance between them. So there's not the big congestion at the moment. Big tap there by Jack Trenorden. Geez, put the body in too. Can they get it out of the gullies? They've all lined up inside there. So that's where McKay's going to go. He does go inside, and that's a very dangerous kick because you give it back to the opposition in the corridor. Getting a few touches there, Ethan Bald, and that's that pressure once again, Adam.
And then they've got the free players on the fat side. Classic Prince Alfred footy here. Turnover, switch the ball. And this is the right man to be delivering it inside 50, Tony. Probably the best kick in the Adelaide Footy League.
I agree.
And, he nearly didn't let me down.
So Riley Verrill doing a good job back there now, starting to pick up a couple of possessions. This is the Tea Tree Gully I spoke about. They go out wide. Doesn't even look inside it one bit there, Zach McKay, on his 250th. Still bobbling around out there. They're right on that half-forward flank now, inside 50. That's a long kick and all on his own. How did he get so free? Tyler West. And he was hanging West. That's what he was doing.
And he's just played on nonchalantly and kicked the left foot goal. So Teacher Gully have gone inside 52 times and Tyler West has taken 2 marks. So Prince Alfred will be disappointed with that. They had all the play in their front half. But Teacher Gully are very good at the slingshot game, Tony, and they have been for many years. They can get numbers back, and they've got some speed in their front half. They can get the ball over the back. So Prince Alfred will be disappointed with that. They played really, really well, but they've conceded 2 very easy goals for mine, Prince Alfred.
Both goals haven't gone through the corridor once yet, Tea Tree Gully. Even on the kick-in, they've come out wide. So we'll just keep an eye on patterns of players. Umpire throws a big collision in the middle there, and yeah, I thought so. They sort of went body first and then player. And this is where Blake Penny, I like him. He's more than a ruckman. He'll give you value around the ground. He can kick all right as well. He handballs, he can mark and below the knees. Just elects to go long on that little bit of a diagonal across there. Pitt up high at the back. Good defence. Beats everyone with that punch. Player taken by one wing. And that's Elliot Brogdon on the ground. Gets a help up.
You can see young Draxton ordered in the ruck against Blake Penny. He's just really worried about his body. He's just got to make a contest. You don't have to worry about winning the tap. He's just got to make a contest and make sure Penny can't grab it and kick it forward. Yeah,
and he won that one because he's up against young Friday there. That was interesting. Penny was that kick behind. So it's going to be a real cat and mouse with both of them in this occasion. They're out here. Gee, you had to... Yeah, I agree with that. He did have to look up and see what was coming, Oliver Clark. So this is the rebound we talk about. McKay is away. Beats 1, beats 2. Long kick. Is that a little push? Play on is the call. Quick handball out. Round the corner. That is a goal there. So was that...
trying to pick up who kicked it, but it was...
just quick off the boot.
It was Tyler West again, he just dropped the pud. But he is monstering his opponent down there, Tony, Tyler West. You can see he dropped the chest mark, but he followed up and got the handball. And I think that's to Asprey that might have kicked that. So we'll check on that. But Tyler West, for mine, off to a fantastic start. The Prince Alfred fullback is going to be in for a tough day today because his body size just can't go with West at the moment.
3 goals straight. 18 plays 1-1-7 on the scoreboard. Interesting battle between the 50s and Tea Tree Gully. They're getting it down there and they're scoring. You like to see that. It's not coming straight back out, and they go forward again now. And that was through James White. Handball out now by William Charlick. They load up again here, Prince Alfred. Can they hit a body? That's what Penny's doing. He's just staying that one kick behind. Sort of halfway between. So there's the other ruckman that gets that interesting, jolly, dangerous hands. There's the squaring up kick. So they come into the middle. They do use the corridor, Prince Alfred. Just those little chip kicks gliding by. The player just couldn't quite get there and picked off extremely well by Tea Tree Gully there. Just out towards the boundary. Not happy with himself. And that was Christopher Howard streaming through, wasn't it? It was a good piece of play.
Just back to Tyler West at full forward. It's trying to think of the full back is for Prince Alfred, who's not playing today, their co-captain. He's a huge loss. Sumner it is. He normally will lock that matchup down, but they've got their second stringer on West today.
So he's picked up another one here, Blake Penny. You've picked it at him, the battle body on body. So Penny again just takes the one step and goes bang. Big fist comes through, cruising by on the outside. Cody Tate puts it into a dangerous position, playing in front. Tea Tree Gully again. I tell you what, every time they've gone forward, they're loading up on shots on goal.
So this is Luke Brown, who's playing his first game for the season. Obviously, he's going to be a little bit rusty. Smart coaching, playing him inside 50, but just had a one-on-one at the top of the goal square there. And again, Tea Tree Gully, 5 inside 50s, looking for their 4th goal.
So Brown wanders in, straight in front, pretty much for him. Slight angle, and they've kicked 4. And an outstanding start in almost 11 minutes of footy.
Yeah, really good start for Tea Tree Gully. 4 goals in 11 minutes, which is really good going for them. Traditionally in the past, they haven't been a really high-scoring team, but they've found something this year with their scoring. And, yeah, they look potent up in their forward line. And Prince Alfred, for mine, Tony, looking very undersized down back at the moment.
Justin Machado, he'd be just kicking back. I often ask the coach, what do you like with your toes on the white line? He'd just be kicking back, relaxed in the coach's box at the minute. I'd suggest low heart rate. And, Craig Pitt's out there, and we spoke about that just as we speak. There is not quite there. Big pack forms. Look at the tackling and the pressure again. Tea Tree Gully. They start to get that sniff. They get an ascendancy, and one team will lift, and it's equal the other way. The other team will drop away. So the mental game, they've just got to be careful here, Prince Alfred, that the mental game doesn't get hold of them as well. So they're just clearing there. Not quite. Round it comes inside, playing in front again. 1-2. Where's the next ball going to go? It's a chain of handballs. Player outside. Gliding by Zach McKay in his 250th, goes bang.
Well,
and kicks
Tony.
it, and have a look at him get around him too. Look at them, they've come from everywhere. Gee whiz, the old full-back has to run all the way down the ground. Jordan Personos has come from the back pocket. That's a celebration, and 5 goals. But talk about a team lifter. There he goes, around the corner. Gave it plenty of height.
Always good when the milestone player kicks a goal. It always is a team lifter. But for mine, Prince Alfred are really struggling down back, Tony. 7 inside 50s to Tea Tree Gully, 5 straight goals, and that was a training drill. Very little pressure applied from Prince Alfred there, so they've got some work to do to get back into this game now.
Jaden Davis just coming back on now, straight into the forward line with the interchange. He's snuck on now. I'm not sure they have picked him up. So Blake Penny in the middle. I've loved his work already. How have you seen the ruck work in the middle? I think he's on top early.
I've got a free kick again here.
Yep. Player in.
Not against Trenorden on that occasion, but Penny again is going to get another clearance to a free kick.
Looking for the handball.
And that's 5 centre bounce clearances to 2 so far, Tony.
I'll tell you what, he's just bombed that down there, and the way they're playing, why wouldn't you? Here's the numbers again. This way, that way. That's Chris Olsen around the corner. They just had a player just standing out wide, and they go across that side of the ground again. The big fist comes, but gee, I'll tell you what, it's getting a bit disheartening for Prince Alfred because they'll put the fist in and then they get the turnover. Bang! They're forward though here. This is a good foray. Just going for the punch there, and here comes someone gliding by, and Josh Perks has got on the end of this, runs in and just offline, and that is out of bounds on the full. A good transition. I thought they were in trouble down there in the back line. I'll tell you what did happen, it moved quickly at them.
Yeah, well, the key then was they got a spoil on a ball down back. They haven't been able to spoil the ball in their back 50 yet, so they got the spoil, got the front and centre, and were able to transition quickly.
A lot of numbers here. Joshua Spence ball in hand, and they can just hold this up, Tea Tree Gully, and go across the goals. They do. They play on out of that back pocket. As I said, they're playing the boundaries. They're playing out wide. Luke Brown, long way from goal. Oh, body on body, Latham. This is where he's elusive. He's quick. He's dynamic. He can't just take the ball low. He almost beat himself there. And there's the backup. So
he'd be disappointed there, Latham. He did all the hard work and just fumbled the footy before the snap. But they are up and about here, Tea Tree Gully. Even when they're making mistakes, they've got numbers and they've caused a turnover with the holding the ball.
So that is Jake Robinson. I spoke about him recently in a game, and he just played his part perfectly and looks to be doing that again today. And that's just about support and backup, not ball watching and knowing your positions.
The troubling one for mine, if I'm Prince Alfred, is Tea Tree Gully waltz the ball up the field from the full back line relatively easily. So, yeah, a little bit of work to do here for Prince Alfred.
So Robinson just in front of the scoreboard there. Ray White, Tea Tree Gully scoreboard today. A kick goes through, and there is another one. And you talk about the dream starts. That's 6 goals in a row.
In 15 minutes. And they've only had 9 inside 50s, Tony. So that's just elite. Prince Alfred are going to have to find something here around the ball with some pressure because their defenders look like they're a bit undersized at the moment. They need dirty ball coming in, and it's not happening at the moment.
And the other bit I see, so another interchange in the forward line here is Ionello. So they're doing the interchanges into the forward line. It's probably got to look at the back line. We'll go to Lachlan on the boundary.
Rotation as well. Hanneman's come into the midfield, and Davis has gone forward for St Alfred's boys. Back to you guys.
So Prince Alfred go inside the 50. Around it comes. Gee, on the left foot. That's a great kick under pressure. Just offline there, and good try. Benjamin Ayala just came on. Kicked around the corner, so under pressure. So watch for the kick here from Spence. If he gets going, he may well run out. They might have done their homework on him by the looks of it. If he can get 5 or 10 metres out, he'll just about reach the centre of the ground. There it is. There's the centre circle right there. Can they get it out? Gee, Tyler West a long way up the ground. So the ball's going to go where he needs to be. So it'll be interesting what change they've made here. It's up and down. Probably changing blokes out of the forward line to give them a rest at the moment. That's how good they're going. Comes across the pit. He has to swing around. Great smother. 1%er Olsen taking the ground. The umpires put the whistle up and says, I'll do a ball up. But once again, another turnover, Adam. This is what we were going to look at today. Quick one, Lachlan.
Quick, they might look to change their forward structure as well, Prince Alfred. Just something else to look out for.
Fantastic. Well, they've got to get it down there. That's the other bit. And just have a look here. Noah Hyde right out here. There he is, number 8, just on his haunches. No one near him. So if Tea Tree Gully get a clearance here, quick little chip in, he could be lining up as well. Lot of congestion now, Adam. Have a look at that. Count the numbers there, mate. There'd be 15 to 20 players around that ball. Who's going to get the clearance? Players going over. Quick handball out. Oh, run back into trouble and Court holding the ball. Now this is where Princes can load up here. They go out wide through Pitt. He's doing a fair bit down there. Another cut off. That looked like Cody Tape coming through. Bobbling around. Trouble is now they come out and it goes to a 50-50. And that's a good mark. Pay that. What's next in line? It's the cavalry. They're having to run. They chip out wide. Possession football. Have a look at them. The migrating. There they are. The migrating players all coming down. Nice kick in. Well manufactured, Tyson Brazel. They had to work at him.
Oh, that was a good transition. They desperately needed it, Prince Alfred, because they are under the pump down back. But you could see the class of Davis, Ionello and Brazel, guys that have played high-level football. A lot of young players would have just turned and kicked it to nobody. They waited. Brazel led. He led, and they kicked it to his advantage. And again, I don't want to put the commentator's curse on, but typically this guy's a pretty good set shot for goal. We've seen he kicked 50-plus goals in the Division 1 competition last year, and they desperately need a settler, Tony.
So, Brazel. Lining up. He's probably going to kick from 45. Comes in. Gee, dropped the head straight over the ball there. That is a classic way to kick a goal, and well done as the support comes. So 6 scoring shots to 4. So when we analyse that, that's not too bad. However, I would say Tea Tree Gully have had most of the possession. The times they have gone forward, Prince Alfred, when they maintain possession, they look good.
Prince Alfred had a lot less possession. It's only 11 inside 50s to 8 when it was 6 goals to 1. They've just been super efficient. And like I said, the worry for me today is their soldiers down back. Prince Alfred, they're just a little bit under the pump and need to get a little bit tighter on the back shoulder for mine.
A couple of ladies there enjoying the game, which is great to see. Community football. We talked about it. Huge crowd. You can see the cars in the background. It's got that country feel about it. Gee, no one goes up in the ruck there for Princes, so an easy clearance for Tea Tree Gully, but under pressure, so they pick it up here, Princes, go forward. That was through Benjamin Ionello, and a nice mark down back. Wasn't happy with himself last time, Christopher Howard, so let's see what he does with this one. He puts it up a little bit high, but James White, so they do like to load up, as I said, around that boundary, down the wing, next in line, unable to take it, Jack Asprey, up and down. 1, 2, 3. Look at them running now. Prince Alfred. They've got to play a square if they want it. They come a little bit more diagonal and well worked. Well done there. And that's Charlie Hanneman. Ball in hand. He's going to wheel on the left. Gee, had a player free down here on the flank. They want to go inside. A little bit of a contrast. This way, that way. Sells the candy. Gee, helicopters it forward, but that'll do. And nice grab there. Looking quite quickly there. Jaden Davis, just settle down, lad.
It's been pretty good so far, Jaden Davis, hasn't he? He has had a lot of opportunities, but every time the ball's gone near him, he's won the football. Not sure if he's got this leg. He's going to pass it off. Smart play there by Jaden. We spoke pre-match about that, didn't they, Tony? Prince Alfred won't just bomb those balls. Davis and Brazel will wax and use each other and just get that eye contact and that point to that spot that he wants. And he just put it in a spot where the Tea Tree Gully defender just had to give away a free kick, and Brazel looked to kick his second goal in 2 minutes. Yeah, we talk about that mental game, and suddenly the gap closes again here, and a little bit of self-belief, because if they stick to their guns, Prince Alfred,
this is what they can do. They get this shot on goal and it's 5 shots to 6. It's just that the Gullies have kicked straight.
Yep.
But 5 shots to 6 is quite good as he wanders in. Gee, he does put his head right down over that ball, and that's how you kick them. 2 goals to Brazil. And, well, the interesting thing here, Adam, the matchup on Brazil may become a problem for Tea Tree Gully now.
Yeah, both teams, Davis and Brazil, both look dangerous. So for mine, both teams probably aren't blessed in the key defensive stocks, are they? They haven't got that big guy down back that can really kill the ball that comes in.
Yep.
So, yeah, it's an even game of footy. Gully's, for mine, if they get high inside 50 numbers, they're going to kick a score. But the last 2 times they've gone in, they've been able to repel. And Prince Alfred, the 2 key forwards, looking dangerous so far today.
The other thing with Princes is almost going back a couple of decades. They tend to come in around that centre-half forward or full forward. They go right into that middle part of the ground. And Tea Tree Gully, in contrast, like this, they tend to be playing the outside. So here they go again. Exactly what I was talking about. There's the middle of the ground that the Gullies are giving up. And like you said, Jolly with ball in hand. Look at that kick in. Big fist comes out from the Gullies. Just a bang on the left foot there by Howard. 2 on 1. I'll tell you what, the one's done quite well there. Almost fell over there, Noah Hyde, and I'll tell you what, that's a mighty effort there. We talk about plays of the day and stuff like that, intercepting and just punching that ball forward, getting a set up. So this is what we talk about. Look at Jolly just behind the 2 rucks here, still on his own. I wouldn't be leaving him on his own. In it comes. There it is out the back. That's what I'm talking about right there. 1-2. Player unable to take it and caught there. Umpire's quick on the whistle. Tyler Martin. They want it into centre-half forward position. That's exactly where it goes. Unable to take it was West. You hear the groans of the crowd. Oh, dropping the ball, though. That's twice that's happened now where there's been a backup. And that looks like Asprey, I reckon, is it, who's kicked the goal already?
Won't be great vision. I'm not sure when Craig Pitt does his video analysis, one of the Prince Alfred defenders really just overran that ball. He let the ball over the back into a dangerous spot. So they're in a little bit of disarray down back at the moment for mine, Prince Alfred. Just need to get on the back shoulder and get a spoil.
So Jack Asprey wanders in a little bit stuttery. No doubt about that one. And he's kicked his second for the day, and that is the 7th for Tea Tree Gully in a row. And we were going to be 23, almost 24 minutes in to the first quarter. And a great start, but can they build on it? Will Prince Alfred fight back? That's what we're going to see right now in this centre bounce.
7 straight goals in a Division 1 game in 1 quarter is a big score, Tony. You'll go weeks where teams kick 7 goals for a game in Division 1. So it's a really good start. They look super dangerous up forward. I'm not sure what magnets Craig Pitt has got to maybe shore up the defence at quarter time, which is coming up soon.
So just Lachlan on the boundary.
I just had a quick chat to Elliot Brogden, who's playing over for Tea Tree Gully. He said he's happy with the forward line pressure and happy with how the game's going.
Yeah, I reckon they would be, Tea Tree Gully. So around it comes again. Gee, inside out kick there by Olsen. And hammered across the line. That's what you've been talking about there. That was hammered across the line by Prince Alfred.
So it'll be a longer quarter, Tony, with all the goals going. We might get up to 30 minutes here potentially. So if I'm Prince Alfred, I can't concede another goal, and that's got to be the mindset. If I'm Coach Pitt behind the ball, I'm maybe calling for reinforcements, a +1, some extra numbers around the ball here, just to slow the game down for a couple of minutes.
Up it goes there. Not quite taken out of the ruck there, Tyler Martin. He's getting his hands on the ball a lot. Bit of a scramble. I can tell you last week, Tea Tree Gully kicked 7 goals to half-time, 7-4. They kicked 10 in the second half. So if they get going and come home today like they did last week, they kicked 17-10. So 27 scoring shots. Player just flung the ground there. 27 scoring shots for the game. So they are renowned to get up in around those high scores if need be, or if the game allows.
Since the round 1 game that I called, where they only kicked 4 goals for the match at Sacred Heart, their potency in attack's been really, really impressive. Tea Tree Gully look like they've gone and done a lot of homework on how they can get better scores on the board.
So this is just a forced kick up. Tea Tree Gully be happy with that. It's a 50-50. That's actually bounced off his fist. Umpire hasn't called it. They're trying to claim the mark.
Tried to con him there. That was clearly touched.
We talk about the possession of Prince Alfred trying to pinpoint, and then if Tea Tree Gully put enough pressure on, I talked about visual pressure at the start of the game, and that's what happens, a 50-50 ball in the air. and Tea Tree Gully will back themselves here on the clearance. Hung on to for a little while by Olsen, giving it off to James White now around the corner. Kick straight to playing coach Craig Pitt. Doing a mountain of work back there. He's looking inside and gets it to the diagonal kick. So they're inside the centre square. They go inside again. Good running by Lachlan McNamara. And here's it, kick. Penny it is. Big fist. Oh, just the paddle there. Unable to get hold of it. McKay backing up. Been impressed with their backing up and teamwork by Tea Tree Gully. In a little bit of strife here, but once again, the numbers. There's that man Robinson. I talked about him. Can play either end. Oh, bang. The Gullies, they're under a bit of pressure here at the moment. Can Princes capitalise here? Get a late goal. Around the corner it comes. Cameron Pritchard in dangerous position. Prince Alfred player, is he taken high? The umpire says yes. That is Benjamin Ionello by the looks of it, and he's really given them something up forward.
Yeah, former only Jets player, crossed over this year from the Jets. He's a beautiful left foot kick normally, and Tony, amazingly, we look at the score, it's 13 inside 50s each. So Prince Alfred are getting plenty of football, plenty of looks inside 50. Again, I keep stressing, if they can tidy up some of their work down back, this game can even up quickly, but they need this goal. I think if they could say they're going 16 points down at quarter time, they'd probably take that.
So just wanders in now, and he's going to be only probably 35 to 40. Big left foot high kick it is. Just offline. But that was impressive. They put Tea Tree Gully under pressure this time, as this will be Joshua Spence. Look for him to take the meterage. I reckon Princes have done their homework on him. So he does take that meterage, and he'll get that long kick down the wing. Now that's going to be 2 kicks back if Princes get it. It's anyone's ball out there. They handball backwards, but straight into the hands of a player that's tackled the ground. Umpire balls it up late in the quarter, 28 minutes, 7 goals straight, 42, 3-3-21. Entertaining game of footy. Nice tap down by Trenorden. Tea Tree Gully player couldn't take it, and there is the siren. So the score at quarter time, 7 goals straight, Tea Tree Gully. Prince Alfred 3-3-21, and we will take a short break.
We've been housemates for, what, nearly 4 years?
Yep, basically since I started my uni degree and you got your apprenticeship.
Yeah, it's been really good. Like, it's the little things, you know? Like, one of us is always around to house it when the other goes on holiday. And one of us is always ready to help the other out of jam.
I don't know. Yeah, happen again. It's usually me. My HEC stat doesn't leave a lot of room for holidays or working transportation or food. But it's worth all the debt, right?
No.
But what about your debt?
Debt isn't a problem for me. I get paid to learn.
You belong in blue. Apply for a career with South Australia Police.
And welcome back to the quarter time break, and the Gullies, well, 7 goals straight, 42, 3-3-21, and they started out really well, and then we saw Princes come back. Adam, how have you seen the game so far?
Yeah, it's an interesting match. Prince Alfred have had plenty of the football, Tony. It's 13 inside 50s each, so it's not like one team's dominated that count. For mine, the biggest problem Prince Alfred have right now is their key defensive stocks, with Sumner not playing, who's one of the best lockdown defenders in Division 1. Tyler West in particular has monstered his opponent. They need to change their body position, Tony. Their defenders are taking the front position, and that's what Tyler West wants. He wants to nudge you under the football. It's very difficult to take a mark when you've got someone on your back shoulder. So if they can adjust that, Coach Pitt, that's why he's on the field as a playing coach, needs to adjust that. But it's still game on here, only 21 points of difference. Over to Lockie, who's in the middle of the ground.
Yeah, boys, just been listening to the huddles. Very interesting advice. They offered some advice to Friday, who's playing for Tea Tree Gully. They were just a little bit worried that when there's a contest and they want him to hold back again and take his opponent out of the contest instead of allowing a free one. Over the other side at Prince Alfred, they're very, very worried about the overlap run that's being created at the minute. Back to you guys.
Yeah, fantastic insight from Lachlan, and we'll have a look at the goal scorers. Adam, who have you got for Tea Tree Gully there?
Oh, I'd noticed that, like I said, Tyler West had kicked 2, and I believe Brazel was kicked 2 for Prince Alfred, so that's the multiple goal scorers as well. So we missed Asprey, who I missed him as well because he has been a defender in the past, Asprey, but playing a more midfield role at the moment for Tea Tree Gully, drifted forward and kicked 2 goals.
And Robinson, of course, and Luke Brown kicked 1 as well. Better players. Really like Christopher Olsen and Zach McKay out there having a very good day. Tyler Martin, I thought, in the midfield started out well. Blake Penny's an interesting one. He tends to go that kick behind the play after the tap, and we talk about, okay, what do you do after that tap? Do you go forward? Do you go back? He is heading back a little bit. Tyler West at times, with those 2 goals, giving him something up forward. Latham just popped in and out at the moment, and they mentioned Adrian Friday, number 23. You might see him come into the ruck at times throughout the day and give Blake a spell, but he plays probably 90% of the game on ball. Jack Asprey, of course, with his 2, popped in up forward. Go across to Prince Alfred. I think Tyson Brazel's been really good. Craig Pitt down back.
Yeah, he's been
really
good. Too much to do for the coach probably at the moment.
Yeah, really pushing away there. Macaulay probably needs to lift a little bit in the middle. McNamara come down. Ollie Clark at times can be a target up forward. Benjamin Ionello, really liked his game. Good set of hands. Hayden Jolly, industrious as always, up around the ball. So you'll see him down back. You'll see him up forward. He's been holding out of the forward line a bit so far this game. So just see whether he drifts down into that forward line later in the game and they use him. There's a couple of players they probably need at both ends. Lockie, what have you got for us, mate?
Had to listen to the Tea Tree Gully huddle after that cross. They said transition is the only area they're getting us in. We've got good contestant method and great ball movement.
Yeah, I agree with the pressure, contested ball, but he's correct to that transition. But they're allowing Princes to come diagonally inside to that centre area corridor. So we'll keep an eye on that again as James White just hands the ball back. Keep an eye out just as we speak. Jolly's in there. He's protecting where that ball's dropped. 2 players go to ground, actually. So Prince is just a hack kick around the corner. Leading out there. Christopher Howard started okay. Just some of his possessions. He wasn't happy with his kick forward. And Craig Pitt's having a very good game down back. Liked his game so far, Adam. How have you seen Craig's game?
Yeah, like I said at the break, he's probably had to do too much work for his liking, but he's in set marking and his composure. And even with his coaching at quarter time, the beauty of Craig Pitt as the playing coach is he's a cool and composed player and a coach. So there's no panic from him ever.
You see they come inside again diagonally. So they do like he's looking across. See the eyes dart across to the right. He's just looking down the ground. That possession football, they've probably gained 20 metres. So he's going to come diagonally inside the square. I keep talking about it, and there it is, Hayden Jolly, right in the middle of the ground. He's that good a kick, though. So Pitt's had 2 possessions there, and guess what? He's got it back for his 3rd in about 5 possessions here. So probably relying on too few to load up, but let's see what happens. They need to share the load. Cameron Pritchard's calling for it right next to the umpire. Optical illusion. Pitt now goes forward. Nice kick in. Is that Brazel in the blue boots, or is that...
That is Davis.
Davis
taken that mark. That was the
other player I was thinking of earlier.
That was methodical from Craig Pitt. He got 3 marks and 3 kicks in that chain, and if I'm Tea Tree Gully, I've got to man him up. Craig's been a good kick over the journey, but his elite ball use there was unbelievable. The kick into Davis then into a congested forward line was amazing. So well done to him.
That started on the half-back flank on our side of the ground. I keep talking about it, banging on. It's going into the middle. They've gone diagonally out the other side of the scoreboard now as Jaden Davis. Couple of nice big dancing steps. He liked it off the boot too, and he's pointing, and that's a good start for Prince Alfred. So really great battle we've got here. So there's the 7 scoring shots. That's the even or upper. And as you said, the contrast, they didn't let Tea Tree Gully get to them physically. They maintained possession of the ball, and I don't reckon a Tea Tree Gully player, not so much touching the ball, but didn't even get a body on body.
Yeah, unbelievable ball use there by Coach Pitt, and a good finish that time by Davis, who missed his first set shot early in the game. So it's still a good game of competitive footy, isn't it? I think the scoreboard is a little bit flattering to Tea Tree Gully maybe at the moment. We've got some easy goals early in the first quarter, but it's starting to even up.
And he looks to be playing, probably an optical illusion now, he's the spare back at the moment, Pitt. So just hanging back there, but they go forward again here. Great start, Lachlan McNamara this time. So he's picked up, it's out this side, right side for a left footer. Just a little nudge there. This is the Tea Tree Gully I was talking about backing up. So there's Shepherd. Are they under pressure? Zach McKay looks down the wing. The chaser came. Here's Pitt again. The big fist goes up. He's playing a mighty game.
Yeah, going to give Craig Pitt some kudos here. This is very smart coaching to go as a spare behind the ball. I mentioned about 3 or 4 times in the first quarter how much they were struggling down back. So creating a +1 and not panicking when he gets the ball on the way out is a great start by Coach Pitt.
So 0-all by the 2 ruckmen there. 26 there was Benjamin Ionello putting it into the middle of the ground. Oh, player taking the ground. Play on's a call. I tell you what, they're all over him here at the moment. Lachlan McNamara. Tea Tree Gully can't get near it. Round the corner it comes. This way, that way. Gee, good vision. Just held on and lifted the eyes, and this is Thomas Searles. Lachlan, what have you got for us, mate?
Yeah, just was having a listen to both benches. Hanneman's been told to use your man as a starting point. He's going to play probably a more defensive mid-role for the rest of the day. And Tea Tree Gully are definitely worried about Tyson Brazel. Lots of conversation around how to stop him on the bench.
Yeah, so that's Hanneman, of course, for Prince Alfred, number 45. We'll keep an eye on that as Thomas Searles. Does he get hold of it? Not quite. And a little blemish here. We see, once again, if it's Joshua Spence kicking in, this way down the ground, Adam, will he come to the wing again?
They've been really good on their kick-outs, Tea Tree Gully. They've got a plan. They get a lot of numbers into the corridor and then try and isolate a Martin here. But Prince Alfred are onto it on this occasion. They're allowing Martin that one-on-one, who's a good mark for a midfielder.
Look at that kick.
That's a magnificent kick. So that's a set play, that spot that they go to every time, Tea Tree Gully, and it's worked so far.
That's a high ball up, though, to a 50-50, isn't it? Pitt's back there again. Just in support this time. Can't quite get to that ball, Tea Tree Gully. Just bobbling around, though. The skill's not quite there. It's up, it's down, it's touched. William Charlick it was coming in. Tea Tree Gully now laid up there. Inside 50. Penetrating kick. Oh, and the big jukes go up. That is a strong mark. That's a good kick into the forward line. Tyler West really had to stand under the pack, and the player...
That was Tyler Martin again.
So he's through.
He is playing a Dusty Martin type of role here, Tony. He is playing on ball, but he's such a good mark. He's taking a midfielder with him to that position.
It's a strong mark,
yeah,
too.
That was a magnificent mark. The guy giving 6 goals last week who's got his confidence up. But smart coaching, again, how they're trying to use him to get mismatch.
So Tyler Martin wanders in. Straight through the high diddle-diddle. It's interesting when we talk about marking. So there's the chip kick. We'll just go to Lachlan.
Throw around again. Hanneman, instead of going into the middle, he's going to go to half forward, and they're going to throw Macaulay in there.
All right, just as you call that, there he is trotting through the middle. We talked about that with marking, and there's the kick that you see Craig Pitt do that's a chip, and it just lands, and if you missed it, it'd probably land half a metre from you. But that kick coming in there with that strong mark by Tyler Martin, if he'd have missed that, it probably would have gone 20 metres behind him. So he's really snatched the ball out of the air in its trajectory, Adam.
Yeah, no, that was a magnificent mark, and they look potent on their full forward line today with Brown, West and Martin, all capable of taking a contested mark.
James White around the corner, high ball, a little push, was it? Pitt gets away with it again. He's racking up the touches. Bought his own football. So he's already in the corridor. Let's see where he goes. He just stays inside the square. They glide, they go inside. Now they come outside. Chip kick again. Do you look at Jolly going past? There he goes. Gets the ball. Kicks into the Tea Tree Gully player. 3-on-1. Can they get it back? They do. Bulldozing forward with the head down. and a soccer kick, and that was Lachlan McNamara. Very well done. Under pressure, Tyson Breeden just bombed it outside, out to where you spoke about those set plays too, Adam. So battle out that far side. It's still on. Oh, Jolly holding the arms up. Look at him at centre forward there. All on his own he was, and didn't get it. Play on is the call. Bouncing ball.
It's gone through.
That is a great goal. That was Benjamin Ianello, I reckon, around the corner. It bounced, and through it went. 2 goals, 1 for the quarter to 1 goal straight, and not getting all their own way now. Tea Tree Gully, as that closes up that scoreboard, 8 goals to 4-4. 20 points difference.
That was Ben Ianello with the snap. He's been pretty good today, hasn't he? He's been involved a lot, and for mine, that's an early contender for the player of the day. That was a great snap under immense pressure. And they're in this game, 4 inside 50s to 1. PAC, Tea Tree Gully looking pretty early. They kicked 5 very quick goals early, but since that point, it's really evened up, and Prince Alfred, with the move of Craig Pitt playing as a spare behind the ball, has worked for him really well so far, Tony.
So Josh Perks is on, and Archie Perks, his brother's on the half-forward flank, and Josh was going to run down there. He said, no, Josh, you go to the wing. I'll be in the forward line, thank you. So they're going to go ahead here again. Quick handball across. Forward it goes through Lachlan McNamara. Gee, he kicks the centre forward, no one's there. The ball bounces. Having to get it quickly out. Riley Verrill gave the handball out. They go to that same spot again. And Luke McCauley, can he catch the dashing Christopher Olsen? So it's a kick under pressure. This is what they've been able to do very well, Prince Alfred. And they come inside once again. Look at them in the centre of the ground. It's there to use. Why not use it? Put it there. If the opposition don't want to go there, we'll play them back there if they do want to. But if they don't, we'll just use it as we like. Benjamin Ianello again. Looks like a real athlete. Gee, just pop that ball up there. Penny's back. That's what he's there for at the front of the pack. Tea Tree Gully, just a juggling ball. I'm not sure that I've seen too many possessions by Tea Tree Gully, apart from that mark and goal, that have been easy possessions this quarter.
They've only had
been under pressure.
They've only had the one inside 50 for the quarter, Tony, so they're under a fair bit of pressure at the moment.
Penny now just taps to a certain spot there. This is what we're talking about. That pressure kick comes out, beats 2 or 3. The big ruckman comes through, and that's Jack Trenorden playing a little bit around the ground. They might want to... so he's playing back a bit. So on him, this is the interesting matchup. So Adrian Friday's on him. They might want to get Blake Penny back and play a man-on-man now with him. So he's drifting across on his own. He's actually heading towards Blake Penny now, about 10 metres off. A little bit of side play. Guess who's drifted down next to him is Craig Pitt. So ball up right on this wing. So there's a bit of byplay going on. Around they come again. Yet another entry. Quick handball. Just standing still, Jolly. On his left. Offline. Couldn't quite Tyson Brazel, but boy, oh boy, they're playing over the top of Tea Tree Gully here as we speak. And as I said, just that bit of byplay going on. Look with that press up the ground.
Yeah, they're dominant at the moment. They can't exit the ball at all, Tea Tree Gully. 8 inside 50s to 1 for the quarter so far.
Good communication too. Benjamin Siebel's there, just pointing around as that ball's just up and down. Punch out here. Player onto it. Can he get boot to the ball? He tried, Benjamin Ianello. That's what happens, Adam. You see the big white sticks come up in front of you. You think, I'm in here. I'm in. And then the tackle came. So, well...
That was a really important tackle that he laid there, trying to pick up who's got the ball there. I think it's Zach McKay. That's a really important tackle because Ianello was charging through looking for another goal.
So it hasn't gone anywhere. It's hit the ground. 1-2. These players are waxing, just picking up possessions. You can't put it on the ground like that because you put your teammate in trouble, and just a couple of little skills there playing around within 20 metres in the back line.
So what's caused this change, Tony, is the move of Craig Pitt playing as a spare behind the ball. Now Tea Tree Gully don't want to go long and fast to their tools, and this is allowing opportunities for pressure in their front half. So really good coaching move by Craig Pitt.
And that congestion, we talked about that, lot of numbers around the ball. There's the forward, the backs have all come up the ground, or is it Tea Tree Gully forwards doing a flood? So it's either. But Penny protects the ball drop there. This is what we're talking about. You win the tap, but who's going to win the clearance? Well, we'll get another go at it here. I think Penny's body work has been fantastic. He protects the drop. Prince is there. So Tyson Brazel going up there. Kick around the corner. Jaden Davis. Up and down. And the tackling as well. Prince is the pressure tackling pressure, visual pressure, running at the ball, etc. has been exceptional this quarter.
12 minutes in, Tony. Still the one inside 50 only for Teacher Gully, which was a goal.
So who'd have thought you sit out here on your own and Ollie Wilkin and the ball comes to you. So talk about going all your own way. So Wilkin loads up, kicks towards centre half forward. Unable to take it. Howard on the ground. Anyone's ball. Once again, they're out, but it's a 50-50. It's not to any player in particular. Well done by Siebels. Oh, player almost taken out here in front of us, and that was Jack Ionello. And, well, the other one is Tyler Martin up forward. Maybe it's time to bring him up around the ball again to get a bit of grunt, and you lose him down back. So
he's played a little bit too deep on the last exits. They needed him on those outlet kicks, and they've allowed the spare. So he maybe just needs to come a little bit higher and help him clear the ball.
The spare here for Princes was in front of the ball there. So it's a bit of the Geelong play 6-on-6 in front of the ball. So this is good. Blake Penny takes the mark. He'll probably look out that far side. He does. Pretty predictable. It's a high kick, which is going to be a 50-50. Nice mark over the top Asprey. So they come back inside. First time today, Christopher Olsen. So there's a lot of these little switch kicks going on. They've probably gone forward 20 metres. McKay picking up a lot of possessions. That's better. Jake Robinson. Watch out for Tyler Martin. Where is he? The penetrating kick comes out to the side, and Luke Brown.
Yeah, good patient build-up by that time. Just needed to maintain possession for a little while, didn't they? They've been under pressure, and sometimes you need to give your defenders a breather, Tony. They've been defending for 10, 15 minutes in this quarter, so important to just give their defenders the chance to catch their breath before the next entry comes. It's
almost the Prince Alfred game back at Prince Alfred, where previously we've seen Teatree Gully bomb it in. This time they use the ball. Luke Brown lines up. He's got plenty of it. And just offline. And Lachlan.
Was just having a look again down at the Teatree Gully bench. They've decided to change their defensive matchup, so players starting to swap and rotate through opponents at the minute. The other thing as well is that Prince Alfred very unhappy with their pressure from turnovers.
So there's the first point on the scoreboard, the first kick in. We see Craig Pitt. That's the most dangerous kick in football, that centre-half back area. But they're out. Ollie Wilkin. They're not outside the 50, though, so it's only one kick back for the Gullies if they get it. So they're going to just crisscross here, really going nowhere, but it's possession football. Good play here. That's Brodie Latham pushing up to get a player under pressure. Just trying to tap it there, Braden Rushwall. And that is Latham, who he was caught between two. He went and pressured one, so they had to kick the 50-50, which worked out, gave Teatree Gully an opportunity. So let's have a look here. Looks like Robinson. No, Penny's going to come in now. Puts body on body easily. Taps it into that corridor, and that is Robinson now. I thought it was Robinson was going to go up. So Penny here. Up it goes. Just palms it down. Robinson it is again. Bouncing ball. Leading out. That was Martin. They're out again here too. That's a high kick though. Benjamin Siebels. And cutting it off here. Well, a backman about to kick into the forward line. Keep your eyes open. Anything could happen. He steps back and drops it onto the boot. And that's a nice mark out there. That is a great kick. And it's Luke Brown again. So they've just switched up their entries. And I reckon first time today now, Big Blake Penny just coming off the ground. Mighty effort.
I reckon that is his first spell. Yeah, they've had to go wide because of the spare player behind the ball, and it makes it a tougher shot on goal. Luke Brown's a guy that's played nearly 200 AFL games, so he can kick this.
So similar position to the last one. He's probably a metre inside where the last kick. No worries with the distance. Steps in. Gee, kicks that ball high. High and handsome, if you don't mind. So that is their 9th goal. Luke Brown has his second as well. So 2 goals to Asprey, West, Brown, 1 each to Robinson, Martin and Zach Mackay. But it's been a long time for them to get that next goal. They've kicked 2-1 for the quarter. Princes have kicked 2-1 for the quarter. So no headway there as just players
It's their
Not so
efficiency.
much feeling the heat, but warmish day.
It's the efficiency that's keeping him in the game, Tony. Again, only 4 inside 50s, 2 goals. They've had 17 inside 50s for the match, 9 goals, Teacher Gully. So their full forward line is very potent today.
And you'd say this quarter, boy, Prince Alfred have probably had taken high there. A lot of the possession. He played on there, but bring it back. Probably had a lot of the possession, but the scoreboard says 2-1 each. So Gullies would be happy with that to a certain degree. Just that kick out. Some of their skills I'm a little bit iffy with, just missing some targets at times.
Yeah, I reckon I'd be attacking deep inside 50 from that position. After you've just scored a goal, you want to put the opposition defence straight back under pressure.
White, the left footer, he gets a few possessions. Up it goes. Anyone's ball. Hat kick around the corner. Cody Tape. Haven't called him a lot today. Pitt. One player we have called. Goes back for the second effort. Robinson. This is what he can do. Gets a handball out. Olsen, he's hot. Kicks to that area that you spoke about. Oh, Siebel couldn't. Round the corner. Quick one. Jack Ionello. And a good grab taken by Benjamin Ionello. So the brothers looking for each other. Now they've got to get that transition. They go outside. Craig Pitt is in the middle here. Don't think they'll use him just yet. Ball on the far side. They do look inside. Interesting. Jack Ionello. They come back again. Look out. Can he get there? He can. Great play here. This is Luke Brown. Wanders in. Cuts it off. And I talk about that week in, week out. If you're going to switch, get it across to the other flank. If you put it into that centre half-back position, it's one of the most dangerous kicks in football. I'm going to bring that up again on the Footy Show because that's what happens and it's dangerous and you get a goal scored against you.
Well, the problem is, Tony, you can take those kicks, but you've got to punch them low and it's got to be a 20-metre pass and you have the right ball users. If that's Hayden Jolly in that position, of course he can take the kick. But they're a young team with some young players, Prince Alfred, and they'll learn from those mistakes, the aerial ball back into the corridor against a guy, a 200-game AFL player lurking in the vicinity. Probably one he'd like to have back, but great coaching tool for Coach Pitt during the week, Tony.
Yeah, 10-1-61, 5-4-34. Lachlan on the boundary.
Yeah, I was just going to say, after that goal, there was lots of discussions into the build-up as well. They were very happy with what happened further up the ground as well.
Yes,
yeah,
to cause the turnover and the switch. Yeah, good call.
Good point. Really good point. And that's that pressure we talk about. You see Olsen now comes up. So they have got the free back here, Prince Alfred, which leaves a free for Teachery Gully as well somewhere. But the Gullies try and go forward there. Was that a scoop? We might say 1, 2, 3. It's anyone's ball. It's just a scramble and a hack and flick the ball on. It's almost the rugby maul, and they've moved it forward 10 metres. Look at the numbers again, but to the left of screen, a lot of space in around the cricket pitch here. So players now get it up. This is the area. Well, it's more on the wing here, leading to the ball, taking the ground, not quite. Around the corner here, and that was Oliver Clark again. Sort of pinch hitter, Oliver Clark. He just does little things here and there. Noah Hyde it was. Dancing around. He's caught with the ball. Gets it out. They've turned it over again here and Josh Perks just put it on the ground. Slow to get up. I hope they're okay. A lot of players around this ball. Who's got the courage down there?
Pressure gauge has gone up there, hasn't it, Tony?
It has,
a lot
yes.
of pressure. We've seen a lot of open kick mark play in this game, but Prince Alfred know they need to make a stand now. They don't want to let Teacher Gully get the next goal.
Jolly's just come on. Look at him trotting around the back. No one with him. Just allowed to... In fact, his own player, Josh Perks, runs to him. So Jolly, and he's still on his own. No, they're going to man him up at some point. No. So he's on his own here. That's a big punch forward by Prince Alfred. Oh, a player over the ball. That was great courage there, Riley Verrill. So 1-2, they're flicking around. Will they come inside? Player running by. Gets it back eventually. And a smother there on that kick by Brodie Latham, who is up the ground a lot further as we speak, Adam.
Yeah, agreed. Normally Latham's that player that can get out the back, but he's playing more of a half-forward wing role at the moment, a little bit further up the ground.
Well, he might be the other spare for the Gullies. It might be worth bringing him down and make their spare accountable. That's the other move you can do. Easy for us to sit here nice and calm, not with the coaching hat on, of course. But it's a bit like Geelong. They put 6 in front of the ball, make them accountable. Lachlan on the boundary.
Yeah, just was hanging out at the Prince Alfred bench. They've just said bumper bars, and that's the call they've made. I'm not sure what that means. I might leave that one for you guys to try and decipher.
Well, we discussed with Craig the other night, they do have a one-word thing that they use, and it means a certain thing. I know there was a past coach here. A lot of the players used to play the NFL game Madden, so he started using terminology from Madden, and, well, it worked as well. So let's see what bumper bars mean as Benjamin Siebel's playing his role, just tips forward. Possession football again. Oliver Clark starting to pick up a couple. He's got a player wide, and he goes there. So they're still maintaining possession. Puts the Jets on now. That player gets around. Kick in. It's a high kick in. That was Ethan Bald. It was that got it forward. Player just slung to ground. The Gullies. This is that hack kick we talk about, a 50-50. Prince Alfred get hands to the ball. They can't. Oh, bursting through. That was Luke Brown. Looks this way, that way. Puts it high in the ball. A clever kick to see what he was trying to attempt. He gets it back now, running through half forward. Takes a bounce. He's probably going to have a look at him. Does have a look. Puts it high into West. Can't quite take it there. And I think he actually was kicking to Tyler West there rather than having the shot. But interesting play here. Just that high kick gave the closing space time as Pitt goes short here. Prince Alfred able to put pressure on. 1-2 possession. I've been impressed with their possession game. Brinsley out wide. Gee, look all on his own there. Lachlan McNamara, how did he get free? Looping handball, that's got to bounce right. 1-2. McNamara, no, wasn't McNamara, but gliding by. Oh, nice. Brazil, is it, in the forward line?
That's
Who's
Davis
blue?
again.
Davison? Yeah, Davis, sorry, with the blue boots.
Played that smart, Davis. He let his opponent go up the field and he didn't impact. And he was able to sit back inside 50 on his own as soon as the ball bobbled out. Big shot for goal here, Tony. If they can go in only 22 points down, only a couple of minutes to go in this quarter, Davis, an SANFL level player, has got to kick these for his team. They've had a pretty good quarter. Prince Alfred, 12 inside 50s to 6. They've been dominant. But Teacher Gully have kicked 3 goals to 2.
Yes. He's just stepping over the 50-metre line now as we speak. Just over the back.
Really need to lock the ball in here now. They really can't concede another goal. They lost one with the Luke Brown turnover just before, so they've really got to try and lock the ball in.
So 10 goals, 262, 5-5, 35. Pitt again playing a great game. Siebels, 1-2. He runs off too. They're trying to get numbers. Pitt's down the ground as well. Jolly again standing in the middle. What's he going to do with the load up? Just that little bit of indecision on the kick. It's bouncing. I'll tell you what, it's bouncing a fair way too. He just had that bit of indecision, didn't he? Didn't know where to go, or was probably waiting for the players, what I say. He knew what he wanted to do.
Teacher Gully have got a spare back. So he saw his forward with 2 opponents. So he tried to be a little bit creative, take a little bit more territory. They did well to turn the ball over again. They need to do it again, Prince Alfred. I'm
interested here. Joshua Spence is a long kick. If they get ball in hand here, the Gullies, it's where the next kick's going to be because, well, the players have loaded up now. But, gee, I'll tell you what, they're inside 50. Nice kick off the boot. He loves that. That looks like Ethan Bald, is it? Just wait for him. It is Ethan Bald. And, gee, I'll tell you what, that was very quick too off the kick in. So they've picked up pretty quickly what Tea Tree Gully are doing. Turn it over and bang, through it goes. So they've kicked 3 goals 2 for the quarter. Tea Tree Gully kicked 3 goals 1. And, well, they just can't quite get a leeway. Tea Tree Gully led by 21 at quarter time. They lead by 20 at half time.
They deserve to be a little bit closer, don't they, PAC? 14 inside 50s to 6. 3 goals each from 14 to 6 entries. It's the accuracy, it's the turnover to Brown that's really cost them a little bit. Still another minute or 2 to go here. Big centre bounce, Tony.
Well, 12 scoring shots each. Jolly's in there. Gullies try and go forward. Robinson, I've been impressed with his touches today. Penny just steps back, leans back, kicks it forward. Wow, first of the ball there. White, he's been impressive today as well. Around the corner, Asprey. And nice little kick out, Noah Hyde. Probably a minute or 2 to go this quarter. He's looking to chip it off. I tell you, he's got Tyler Martin leading at centre half forward. Comes around with the kick. It's one of those slow spinning ones, only spun about 3 times. And you can hear the call for slow. They'll probably hold it up here.
They'll just try and get a heap of numbers and go wide here, Tony, and get the ball out of bounds if they can.
Come to the boundary, exactly right. There it is. Oh, big penny.
Probably
going to load up again.
Not the player they wanted to be kicking it to, though, was it?
So he goes inside out with the right boot, and that is half time. It's 10 goals to 62, 6-6, 42, 20 goal lead to Tea Tree Gully. We will take a short break.
We've been housemates for, what, nearly 4 years?
Yep. Basically, since I started my uni degree and you got your apprenticeship.
Yeah, it's been really good. Like, it's the little things, you know? Like, one of us is always around to house it when the other goes on holiday. And one of us is always ready to help the other out of jam.
I don't know. Yeah, happen again. It's usually me. My HEC stat doesn't leave a lot of room for holidays or working transportation or food. But it's worth all the debt, right?
No.
But what about your debt?
Debt isn't a problem for me. I get paid to learn.
Get a quick and easy low-rate car loan from Police Credit Union today.
Do you belong in a role that drives you? In a community that makes you proud? In a team that brings out your best? You belong in blue. Apply for a career with South Australia Police.
Welcome back as the teams are running back out in the field for this second half. It's a glorious day here at Teacher Gully. Barbecue is going bonkers, and we've got a game on our hands. It's only 20 points the margin. Prince Alfred, who conceded 5 quick goals early in the game, but since that point have been really, really good. Took stock at quarter time and got back into the game in the second quarter. So I'm really looking forward to this second half as I welcome back Tony, who just got in a quick bite to eat and he's ready to go. Charged up for the second half, Tony, and it's going to be a really good second half, isn't it?
Well, they said it was past players day, and I thought, well, I'm a past player, just not a past player of Teachery Gully. So I went in and, well, why wouldn't you help yourself to things? But just a quick one, we'll have a look at the goal scorers. Of course, we got Zach McKay with one that really ignited the team, didn't it, early in that first quarter.
Might be a nomination for Player of the Day almost, that Zach McKay goal in the first quarter.
Tyler Martin with his one, but the Sticky Jukes down here, we saw that as well. But Jake Robinson, I've liked his game today. I think he's improved as the game's gone on. James White at times, but Luke Brown, 3 goals, and he missed that one as well.
First game for the season, it's a good day for him so far.
Tyler West with his 2, so they're not one-dimensional, the Gullies, as we see them come out. So, you know, we look at last week, so West is right up there with the goal kicking, and they're not one-dimensional. Already they've spread it between 6 or 7 players. Jack Asprey with his 2 as well. Better players, gee, it's a big spread. Christopher Olsen, Industrious. Zach McKay I've had right up there as one of the best. Tyler Martin, James White that quarter, so there's a lot of one-quarter players. Jake Robinson now, Luke Brown, of course, Tyler West, probably more his first quarter. Blake Penny's up there, but it's been an interesting battle in the ruck. And Jack Asprey at times has chipped in. Prince Alfred, of course, Brazel up forward with 2. Jaden Davis 1, Oliver Clark 1, Benjamin Ionello 1, which was that bouncing goal that really was a ripper. And Ethan Bald chipped in with his 1. And then you look at our better players. I'll go bottom to top this time. And Ethan Bald now just starting to move in there. Craig Pitt and him. But they chipped the ball around that back line a fair bit as well. Benjamin Siebels, I just liked him that last quarter. Big solid player, number 30 there. But courageously went back into a pack down here. And starting to, you know, he uses the ball. He doesn't just bomb away. Hayden Jolly, of course, always industrious. Hanging around the middle a bit today, but getting down back and helping. Benjamin Ionello, as we said, giving them something up forward. Oliver Clark at times. Jaden Davis, fantastic up forward, liked him. Luke McCauley, Craig Pitt, outstanding that quarter. Had a pretty good first quarter, but outstanding second quarter. Was Justin Machota just rinsing the mouth after probably the big talk at half time. And Tyson Brazel also we would have up there. So it's going to be an interesting time trying to find your better players today, Adam.
Yeah, there's a good spread of good players across for both teams. For mine, Tony, this is just a game of efficiency. They've had 21 inside 50s, Teacher Gully, for 10 goals. Now, most teams will go with their inside 50s. They'll score a goal every 4 or 5 times they go inside 50. If they're scoring a goal every 2 times they go inside 50. So that can't keep up for Prince Alfred. Like I said, even in that second quarter, they only had the 8 inside 50s and they got a couple late. So they've just been scoring too easily when they do go in. So if Prince Alfred could just tidy up something on the fullback line. They did have a really strong forward half game for the first 15 minutes of that second quarter. They need that back here because they can't expose their defenders because of the efficiency of the Teacher Gully forwards today.
Players just coming into position. We'd like to thank our sponsors, Hahn and Sportal for the scoreboard, Dartfish for the replays, Wakefield Sports Exercise Clinic for our interchanges, our interviews on the boundary with Lachlan Police Credit Union. Of course, filming footy stats, we cannot let the day go by without mentioning the footy stats because there are 1,500 to 2,000 events that happen during a game. We can design your own playlist depending on whether you're a backline, forward line or midfield type coach. We also look at individual and team stats, and these are all tied to vision. So remember, filming footy stats, the leader in stats for local metropolitan grassroots football. We'll now cross quickly to Lachlan on the boundary.
Benjamin Ianalo had a corky in his thigh area at half time, so just something to keep in mind, boys.
Straight away, Tony, Prince Alfred had started with 7 defenders with Craig Pitt as the spare. So I'm interested to see how that plays out.
Ooh, Jolly just coming in there. Just elected to corral and put the hand up. Bouncing around now. 1, 2, 3. Oh, couldn't take the ball with him. Prince Alfred player. They're out now, Tea Tree Gully, but it's a hack kick forward and strong jukes. Ollie Wilkin, that just stuck. And he's looking at centre half forward already. Jolly's there if he wants him. Goes on the left a little bit more towards that hot spot. And Big Blake Penny having to do a roll now, Adam, filling that hot spot.
I'd love to have that kick back. You have to go on a diagonal around Penny on that occasion. He's not a quick mover, so the ball only needs to be 10 or 15 metres to either side, and he's just lobbed it straight in the big fella's vicinity.
And he's starting to get a few touches here. It's him and Riley Verrill there. So Penny's normally that big long kick. And interesting, the fullback Joshua Spencer's out here on the halfback flank loading up. It's on the other side though, and industrious Christopher Howard today. That's a better kick by him on the wing. And have a look. So Spencer's running down. He's on the half forward line here in a minute. If they could have just got that one to Gullies, that would be dangerous. And he's leading Ethan Bald at the moment on a merry dance, and just a bit of byplay here. And you'll see him just trot across into the middle of. There he goes now. The red boots on. Just trots across into the middle of the ground. So interesting little bits of play here going on within the game. Jolly comes in, gets a handball across anyone's ball, and doing a good job, Christopher Howard.
He's been good actually, Howard. He's probably a bit of an unsung defender. He's probably been the best defender on the ground, but Craig Pitt, who's played as a spare at times, but both teams' defences have struggled a little bit on times, but he's been really good. Interesting,
McKay there didn't even look inside, but Bald and that set. Oh, player in the back there. Bald set up for that. Is that West, is it, out there?
Almost gave away a 50 there, not getting the ball back on the full.
Gee, one step. In it comes. Anyone's ball. Exciting in around the goal square, around the corner.
That's Latham, I think, is it, with the snap?
It is. Gee, I tell you what, he didn't even really celebrate big. He just knew that Brodie Latham it is with his first of the day. And could this be the start of something perhaps, Adam, because he's probably one that hasn't had a huge day so far. Round he goes. Look at him. He just kicks it and says, well, there's the first one on the ball. And I go through that and I look, Jordan Personos, we haven't mentioned much, Heffernan, Brogdon. So there's still a few players that could become involved in the game. With all due respect, Personos has been right down deep in the back pocket, and he's right in the goal square as we speak, doing his job on his player, whereas the goals from Princes have come maybe 30, 40 metres out plus.
Not what Prince Alfred wanted. First entry, first goal. The efficiency for Tea Tree Gully. Too much at the moment for Prince Alfred.
So Penny held on to there. First movement by Jack Trenorden was to go body. And you can't do that on Penny because you're better off standing back and maybe jumping over him. Try a different ploy. Olsen going past doesn't get it because it's Latham again. We just mentioned about picking up a bit. White, I've liked. They give it to a running player. Tyler Martin in the midfield again. Kicks it high and long. The pack goes up very close to that boundary. Look at all the people there. Past Players Day. Tea Tree Gully down here celebrating big. It is a massive crowd down here. Justin Machota just on the bench there observing. Umpire about to throw it in. Half forward line. Just inside the 50. Oh, high ball up. West it is, just having a go in the ruck. So look out for Penny. He is going to be back here. They're double teaming. Where's that bounce going to go? Over the back. Look at Penny just lurking out the back. Doesn't get to him. It gets to Tyson Breeden. Puts the Jets on. Oh, just that missed kick again. 2 or 3 of them. They are playing on top at the moment, but back it comes. Can they get the answer? Apart from that first quarter, we've seen Prince's pretty much that goal for goal at times. Gee, he's running backward, trying to suck the player towards him there. Christopher Howard, interesting move, and doing so turns it over. Cameron Pritchard, ball in hand. They've got a player in the middle of the ground here if they want. He's still here. Ollie Wilkin. And look at him looking there, Hayden Jolly. I told you he would cover a lot of the ground today. One step. Up and down, out it goes. And you alluded to it, Adam. One of the, if not the, best kick in the league. And he just stands back, especially given time and space or a free or a mark like that. And that's what he can do.
Hasn't hit all his targets today, though, has he? He's missed a couple. No, he'd go weeks without missing a target in the past. Hayden Jolly.
So out it comes now. Olsen again. Hat kick forward. That'll do. Luke Brown calling for the free and or 50. Takes off anyway. Puts the Jets on around the corner. Just out towards that scoreboard. A bit of a nothing kick. West was out there, but perhaps not the spot to load up because it's given the ball back. They look inside. A lot of them, it's almost that AFL style. Look at them all. Craig Pitt could get this short, but they go long down the boundary. That was interesting. Kicks to a 50-50. Good jukes in front. Where's the next kick going to go? They're going down the boundary again. Ethan Baldy's got the Jets on as he's running past on the wing this side. Going to get down deep now. The next kick after this may come his way. Gee, big steps in by Brazel. Couldn't get it. Quick handball over by Clark. Running into a goal here. Turn around the corner there. That's a nice goal. Well constructed. Benjamin Ionello again. He's kicked 2 absolute rippers today, Adam.
He sure has. The ex-Unley Jet player I coached a few years ago, Tony. Very
That's
good
it.
young player.
Some may say you made him, Adam.
You don't teach a kid how to kick like that. They just can do it. For mine, I just want to make a comment on Tyson Brazel. So often he's gone for the chest mark, Tony. He needs to get the jukes out in front. He looks like he does the early body work. He gets the defender on his back where he wants him, and he waits for the ball to hit his chest. So maybe something the forward line coach can do some work with him this week because he needs to get the arms out in front, and he would have taken an extra 2 or 3 marks today for mine. He does have duke hands, but a really good end-to-end goal there for PAC, just keeping in touch, Tony.
Yeah, and interesting, I look down to the right, it's actually 6-on-6 as we speak in the forward line. So they've stopped the spare by the sounds of things, or by the looks of things, as White goes. They're going out to that side, aren't they? That's where West is loading up there. Gee. Craig Pitt, that's a saving tackle again. We've seen a couple of them today, and boy, oh boy, he's having a great day. But that tackle there, fantastic. Just having a look around now.
I made the comment over the summer, Tony. I thought Craig might retire from playing and just coach, but I think they need him on the field at the moment, don't they? He's been a very good player today.
Leading the way, gee, up high there. That was Christopher Howard. You're correct. I'll come back to that in a moment as it bounces over. Oh, this way, that way, around the corner. Just gliding by there, Olsen. He's had a great day and he's kicked a nice goal there. Just coming past, it's one of those things that just go to Lachlan here.
Down on the bench for Princess, and Princess have just got a message out to Ethan Ball to make sure that he doesn't get sucked into the footy too much. His direct opponent, and Noah Hyde, was the one that got that clearance forward.
Very interesting because we mentioned about how he'd been drifting down the ground there. So might be a little bit more stay at home. Well, he's on the wing here at the moment, so that's interesting. As an interchange right at this point, I'm not sure that Josh Perks is going to get back into position here as the umpire. Well, he's just going to trot down to our right here. If he just holds where he is, Adam, he'd be free on the half-forward line with a bit of luck, but he goes inside the 50. Yeah.
Again, 4 entries for Teacher Gully, 2 goals. They just keep going at 1 goal every 2 entries.
Oh, drag down there.
It's
Player
almost
hurt.
A slam tackle there for mine.
Slow to get up, Lachlan McNamara. Numbers around the ball again. Both teams, you see, they set up behind the ball for that handball back. And Blake Petty, sense of theatre, sends it forward into a nest of Prince Alfred players. So he's just keep an eye on where he goes there. Gee, away he goes again, Olsen. Just that little chip kick up, and that's great intercept mark coming through the Prince Alfred player. That was William Charlick. Once again, that small 20-metre kick, 30-metre kick possession. Gee, Jolly's in the middle again. West is coming up on him. That's a good matchup. So Jolly says, well, I'll jog forward and I'll drag you away from the ball. Guess what? It's going to come out to West, who was actually going down to follow Jolly there. So down it comes, at the back. One hand up. Nice work again. Benjamin Siebel's just growing as the game's going on. Not so elusive there was Bald, and that was the danger that Lachlan alluded to with Bald being down the ground. He's trying to tackle while laying on the ground. Gee, James White's getting a lot of the football now. A lot of it.
Paid a shepherd there.
Wow. Well, the player going for the ball kept his eyes on the ball.
He did block his run at the ball. A little bit stiff potentially, but the umpire will look to where his eyes are. If he takes his eyes off the ball and blocks the run, he would normally play the free against.
Lachlan.
Yeah, I was just having a listen down at the Tea Tree Gully bench. They weren't happy with the first entry inside forward 50. They wanted it deeper. It got deeper. And you see what happens now.
Fantastic. Great spot, mate. Gee, just runs around a little bit. Rush wall. Is it going to hit the post? It's right over the top from this angle, but probably bent around before it got there. So, gee whiz, talk about accuracy. They've kicked the 3 for the quarter, and Prince Alfred have kicked 1. We haven't seen a point scored this quarter. We are 10 and a half minutes in, 13 goals 2. See that ball just go over the post here.
Ooh.
It might have been the optical illusion. That might have been
you
a
could
couple of metres behind it.
Coach Pitt was almost looking to go grab the ball for a kick out there, so it was close, but looked like it might have just snuck in.
15 shots, plays 11, 13-2. That is accuracy plus. 80 points on the scoreboard, 7-6, 48. So 32 points now, just stretching out a little bit. Good teamwork here. You can see Zach Mackay there just pointing and talking. See, they start to come up now. They've got the free player here. So that was the player that was running forward there. Gee, time there. The Tea Tree Gully player was held on to, had time, but this one hasn't. And that is
So it should be a high fend off that
almost
one.
a 4-figure lock on Riley Verrill there.
Good umpiring there to pay the high fend off, certainly there.
Yeah, Josh Perks. Well, he went the fend first, didn't he? That's a high kick, though. That's hard for the forwards. Anyone's ball. Oh, they can't get it out of here, Tea Tree Gully. A little bit tight. Now the kick comes, and that'll be ours, Adam. Save there, and that's Christopher Howard again. So the kick comes in, Benjamin Siebels. Craig Pitt, we've called that a bit today. Nice kick. Geez, he glides by. Pitt, don't get him close to the goals. Anything could happen. That's a nice kick in. Jaden Davis. Players are down the field a fair way here too, Adam. There's a lot of players. They're all pretty much all in one half of the ground. So trying to congest it now as that ball up comes. Oh, both players miss it. They ran into each other. Missed the ball. There's a chance. Oh, doesn't matter. That'll work. Benjamin Ionello has his third. Little soccer forward there, Thomas Brinsley. It is a game of inches or centimetres, and that's the benefit. This will be interesting on the replay.
It was hard to see, wasn't it? There was a lot of numbers around the ball. They just managed to get the ball towards the goal. Yeah, it was a little soccer cross, wasn't it? And Ionello, right place, right time.
So he's kicked 3.
Yeah, he's had a good day.
Each of his goals would be the magic ones. He's had the bouncing one down here. He had that snap earlier this quarter, and then that one
and he
just in the right spot.
Did miss an easy set shot in early too, didn't he? So he's been a handy player up forward.
Maybe that's his go. Don't have set shots, just
play on and
just
snap.
get snaps. So back in it a little bit here, just reduces that margin a little bit too. Penny pretty much took that ball out, allowed to hold on to it a long time. Gee, I tell you what, talking about holding on a long time, that was Robinson. Anyone's ball again, the umpires put the whistle away. Prince Alfred, forward again. Thomas Searles, haven't called him much today. Jolly can't. Clark, in he goes, well done. Dragged around. Oliver Clark, little chip. Robinson bangs in. It's Joshua Spence down back helping out. Little bit of game between the 50s. Now Pitt goes bang. Another 50-50 kick. They all fly. They hit the ground hard. That's got to hurt. Hope both players are all right. That was Charlie Hanneman just had his legs taken out from under him.
I think Tyler Martin might have had the wind taken out of him. Well, he hit the ground pretty hard. If you watch Martin here and then bang. But he's good to go.
We're not made to bounce, are we, Adam?
No.
So Penny, look at the arm wrestle going on there, and that was against Josh Perks that time, Penny. So they're throwing in a few against him. Around the corner, Asprey. Oh, Pitt. Once again. So he elects to go diagonally across the ground. Jolly had to go hard there. To the cavalry come. They're out now to Robinson. Gee, penetrating kick too. Gets into the hands of Braden Rushwall. Kicked that last goal. Gee, long kick. Diagonally across that ground a little bit more again. So a few of those patterns of play there. And quick transition. Gee, it's taken a long time. The bang, bang, bang in the middle a bit here. And now Luke Brown lining up for his 4th goal. And he's missed one.
I'll think Craig Pitt would love to have that diagonal kick back again. He kicked it to a 2-on-1. It's probably the first mistake he's made for the game, and then in the blink of an eye, they've gone end-to-end, and Luke Brown lining up for his 4th.
And that time in the air, the time the ball's in the air gives the player closing space. So big Blake Penny just trotting off Brown. That's a beautiful kick. We're right behind it. Turns to the crowd, says, happy past Players' Day, get around it. And, gee, I tell you what a day out we're seeing today. This is bizarre. 14 goals, 2. Well, it's not bizarre, it's good football, is what we'll say.
It's good. Yeah, it's unusual at this level, though, Tony, to kick so accurately. See Luke Brown just kicked his 4th. He's looking for a spell on the bench, and they're trying to find a player to come on for him. But he's had a great day. He's kicked 14 goals, 2 is amazing accuracy, something you don't see a lot of.
I'll tell you who the player probably wanting to come on is Blake Penny, because he's just got off for a rest. So you'll see now, Adrian Friday, I did say he goes into the ruck every now and then. So this will be a good matchup. He's up against Josh Perks. Josh just looks a bit solid to be. He's more probably a forward line player or key position than a ruckman. Gee, out they come through Latham. And Braden Rushwall again. He's an athletic type Rushwall, isn't he? Only looks a young lad, but big, tall, athletic-looking lad, and giving him something up forward.
No, we're disappointed there, Prince Alfred. Both teams had the second ruckman in, but Latham, who's playing on ball now, was able to just waltz out of the stoppage and lace out of forward. So going for their 15th goal from their 29th entry, Tony. Amazing.
So just trotting in now. He's a long way out. He's kicked that from outside 50, given it plenty, and just touched on the line. Lachlan, what have you got for us on the boundary, please?
So just went and had a chat to Tyler Martin, who was the player that was involved pretty heavily in that last contest where he ended up on the floor. Hit pretty hard. He's all good.
That's good to hear. Thank you so much for that. So let's see. We haven't seen too many kick-ins today from Prince Alfred. They're out now on that half-back line there. That was a nice kick too. Penetrate. Exactly what you've alluded to, Adam. The low, hard, penetrating kick. Don't give the opposition a chance. Macaulay puts it up a little bit now. Jaden Davis running on. Inside, look at this. Could we see the first coast to coast? Up, it's down. Taken by Archie Perks. Anyone's ball on the run. I'll tell you what.
It's through.
That looks like Oliver Clark, is it? That's kicked that. It is.
Or was it McNamara? Might just have to get a replay on that.
Actually, good call.
Might be McNamara that kicked the goal. That was great football end-to-end, wasn't it? They hit 3 and 4 targets. Yeah, it was McNamara. Outside of the boot, check side on the wrong side of the ground.
Boy, that's a great goal, isn't it? So McNamara, was it Lachlan McNamara with a goal? And could that be the team lifter?
Just keeps them in touch, doesn't it, Tony? You still feel like Teacher Gully have got control of the match. But whilst you're only, 20, 27 points down, you're still just a sniff.
Well, 4 goals, 1 to 3 goals for this quarter. 1 point kicked out of 8 scoring shots. So we were going to be able to say that we were here the day that happened. As around it comes. Oh, player's got his foot stepped on there. The music, the celebrations have all started. Going forward now, Holiday. Friday it is. Round the corner. Gee, that's a high kick, Luke Brown. Puts it into a dangerous position, though. Anyone's ball. Fight for it. Out wide they go. Balled. He's come down. He has come down from the wing. And, well, gives it back to Ryan Heffernan. Gee, look this way, that way. Turns it over again. Luke Macaulay, ball in hand this time. Gee, they came undone last time they did this, Adam. They went into that centre-half back position with that kick, but as you alluded to, this time they hit a target. Latham gets there. West, can he? No, it's Robinson. That's a strong tackle. He's a bull hunting the ball. You won't get out of those arms. And you got something for us there, Lachlan?
Benjamin Ianala, I just had a quick chat to him. He's all good as well from that cork at halftime.
That's interesting to know as well. So, gee, just shrugging them off there. Christopher Howard, another high kick. It's not a good kick into the forward line. Pitt goes bang, as he's done all day. Bald, tracking through, gives it to the call, and the call was James White of the opposition, Tea Tree Gully. West comes out, charges at it. Can he get around? Dodges 1, dodges 2. Doesn't look at giving it off. He says, I'll go all the way myself. And that's what he does. That is a sensational goal, Tyler West. And I tell you what, Adam.
That's a contender for the player of the day, I would have thought.
Have a look at that. He's barged, he's pushed him off, and he said, I'm within 30, 40, 50 metres of goal. Have a look at this. 1, 2, I'll get close enough. Bang!
He's a big man,
Great
Tyler
effort.
West.
Great effort.
He's a player that missed all of last year, Tony, with a knee reconstruction. So he's come back as a big, strong boy. But his lateral movement and his awareness almost was like a small player there. That's a fantastic goal, and he might be looking forward to getting a mouthguard later on in the day. That was a fantastic snap from West. Again, I keep saying it, 30 inside 50s, 15 goals today for Teacher Gully. Unbelievable efficiency. And Tony, I called the game out here last year between these two sides, and Teacher Gully kicked 1 goal for the game. So we are, in weird territory at the moment. Great turnaround for them.
So charging through there, Elliot Brogdon on and off the interchange bench today. 15-3, 93, 9-6, 60, 33-point lead to Tea Tree Gully. They're up by 21 at quarter time, 20 at half time, and, just extending that lead out after that great goal by Tyler West. He has 3. Jolly's trying his heart out, but that's that big long bomb that hasn't worked for them, and Christopher Howard once again. We keep saying, when they pinpoint the kicks and get them right, that's where they score. When they bomb in, they haven't got the numbers around the ball. So just possession football as we speak. Zach McKay. There's the dangerous kick. Olsen it is. They go diagonally straight out here. Noah Hyde. Little left foot chip. Perfectly weighted. They play on immediately. Goes for long handball, Breeden, but doesn't quite get hold of it. Around the corner. That's the pressure kick there for Martin, which it becomes a 50-50. West is in there, dragging to the ground. You like to see that from a pressure forward. Archie Perks ball in hand. Now they're going to go, it's a little bit of circle work. They're going to go diagonally out the other side here. Luke McCauley, ball in hand. Out he goes. Davis. That's a long penetrating kick. That is magnificent. And into the hands of Jolly. He goes into the middle of Josh Perks. Possession football is what's going to do it for them. Almost the players looked at each other there and thought, well, you or me? Oliver Clark says me. Oh, he's popped it up, giving them a chance. But is that Brazel, is it?
It's
coming
Ainello.
out?
Ainello again.
Ainello.
Good ball use on that occasion. I was thinking before with Hayden Jolly, Tony, they've struggled with their kicking out of the D50 today, that maybe that Coach Pitt might employ Hayden to play more half-back. He seems to be playing more midfield half-forward today. He has been an elite half-back flanker. They want him taking those risky balls into the corridor, not their young players. Ainello looking for his 4th. He's had a really good day.
Just wandering in. Well, this is the kick you said earlier.
Loves the snap, usually.
Might struggle with.
And there you go. Doesn't kick through the ball there, Ben. I know you don't listen to commentators during the week, but he needs to kick right through that football. He's just tried to poke it through, kick it onto the road out the back. He'll be disappointed with that. 3 goals, 2 for him on the day. Could have had 5.
Not much of a breeze either, Adam. So let's just see. I keep saying now the fullback's a lot further. Fullback's a lot further out this time. So Tape will get the advantage of running out a bit further if he wants. Here he goes. This is what he does. Kicks it right out towards this wing here. Nice jukes too. That's a good grab, Tyler Martin. Just set himself. Sometimes you just know you're going to be the next to touch it. He tries to really pinpoint that ball towards West. West just sits on the player and drags him to the ground. A little bit going on there. And, that was Benjamin Siebels. Probably giving away a couple of kilos there, but not a bad match-up with Tyler West. They had a little bit of a tussle on the ground. A couple of pandas having a go at each other, respectfully.
I've been impressed with Teacher Gully's kick-out strategies today, Tony. They're really hitting a junction with a contested player in a one-on-one situation, and that's something that's practiced during the week. I've been impressed with how they've done that this week.
Yep, get a contest, get a presence there, and if you can bring it to ground, or like a Martin taking that grab, leading on to it there, the Prince Alfred play. That's a long kick because the hand went up, but it had to go a long way to get to Josh Perks. He couldn't take it. Close to the boundary there was Noah Hyde, and just dribble him across. Haven't called him as much today, Noah Hyde. A beautifully gifted player with his balance and his kicking is elite. As that ball comes in, Jolly couldn't quite. Over it comes. Just a hack kick down the wing. Up it goes. Nice punch forward, Oliver Clark. The race is on. Yeah, just waited there, did Riley Verrill for the Prince Alfred player get to that ball. I hope he's all right there, just feeling that knee a little bit. Because Tyler Martin best, Noah Hyde was second best last week, just alluding to that. Cody Tate, Joshua Spence, Christopher Howard. So can see why Howard gets in there, being down the back line, playing his role. Close to the boundary again. Very well umpired today. Haven't heard much abuse or, well, not abuse, but yelling out at the umpires or anything. So
we haven't cringed at one decision actually all day.
No.
We'd barely noticed. And that's a great job. The Division 1 umpiring, Tony, is very, very good. It's the umpires do a great job at this level.
And always good when you just don't notice them.
Yep.
So fantastic. Another scramble here as we're 25, almost 26 minutes into the quarter. Umpires have let that go a lot today. Hyde this time, just as we're mentioning him. A nice, neat kick around. Craig Pitt again. Gee, a little bit of attention there from Tyler West. Could have picked him up and turned him around if he wanted. So Pitt, we keep saying, goes inside. It's come undone. Siebels. Gee, he unlucky there. He dropped it. The sun directly in his eyes. Latham now. Look at the quick feet. There's a bit on here right in front of us. Latham goes long. Dangerous position late in the quarter. Centre half forward. Big West. He can't get his foot to this one. Just hacked it around there. White around the corner. And he has kicked the point as well. Just say Tyler West, he was all wrapped up there, but he did manage to get his foot to it. And, he's kicked the 3. Luke Brown's kicked the 4. Benjamin Ianello kicked 3 for Prince Alfred in an entertaining game. 94 plays 61. One of the rare kick-ins for the day. Prince Alfred, they do go out that far side. The player's going to have the sun in their eyes if he goes there, so he elects to come down the ground, Craig Pitt. They go for it in the middle, just a punch forward. Races on again, 1-2. Gee, doesn't get his own way, Spence. Gives it off, though. That's Ryan Heffernan. Goes backwards to Tyler Martin, and a nice mark, Oliver Clark, right in front of the eyes there. He's just drifted down back a little bit there, Oliver Clark, to help out.
This is the beauty of Tyler Martin as a player. He can clunk a mark up inside 50. Now he's trolling across half back doing intercept marks.
Getting a lot of it too, Adam, again. A little bit of tempo here. Will they get enough time to have another shot? 27 and a half minutes in. 4 goals, 2, 3 goals, 1 for the quarter. Gee, kicks that high to the 50-50. Off hands. Jack Trenorden was first to get the ball to his hands, and the umpire says it's a free kick here. Trenorden it is. Gives it off. Jolly, see, looks immediately looks inside. They want to get that ball in the corridor. They got one out this other side if they want, all on his own. They elect to play possession football. Now it's off. This looks like Clark or McNamara, one of the two. Gee, that's a high kick in. Doesn't really give the forwards a chance, but gee, onto it there was Bald. He was onto that quickly. Watch out for the post. Watch out they do, and that's out of bounds on the full. Far end of the ground. 15 goals for 94. Teachery Gully leading Prince Alfred Old Collegians 9-7-61. That's a 33-point lead at the 3-quarter time break. Speaking of which, we will take a short break.
You belong in blue. Apply for a career with South Australia Police.
Welcome back to our three-quarter time break, and we can see Lachlan out there going to both huddles. And gee, Adam, I'll tell you what, Tea Tree Gully would be on the ball, and well, Prince Alfred might be just pushing it a little bit. As we'll go to Lachlan now and have a listen to what he's heard from the coaches.
Been at both huddles now, boys. Something to keep in mind for Prince for Prince is that they think this game might be done. They've said the goal this quarter is just to win it, and then over the other side at Tea Tree Gully, they've got a very simple goal for this one. When they lose the ball, it's very important that they don't let the pressure drop. They're pretty happy when they've got the footy. They are a little bit concerned that when they lose the ball, their pressure is dropping a little bit.
And that's interesting. Thank you very much, Lachlan, because Adam, you get to a point like this, it's not lay down misère, but they are playing well, but you start working on things for later on in the season, and exactly that pressure when we haven't got the ball. What are we doing when the ball's not in our hands? And you can work on that now and start to experiment. And one of the other things is you might try a few players in different positions to see if you've got a swingman.
Yeah, potentially. I'd be looking at a few moves because I don't think Prince Alfred have got the artillery to come back in this game. If Tea Tree Gully kick 2 or 3 goals, it's got to be a bridge too far. But it is only 33 points, so you never know if they kick a couple early. Or maybe I'll do a bit of experimenting. If I was Coach Pitt, he needs to find some key defenders. For mine, Davis and Brazel aren't involved in the game enough. I know they're key forwards and they're a little bit more supply. They've had 37 inside 50s, Prince Alfred. They've had 4 more inside 50s than Tea Tree Gully have had. So, I don't know, I'd look to bring Tyson Brazel up the field and get him involved in the play. I don't think he had a one-on-one that quarter. He might have had one early. And again, if I'm Tea Tree Gully, if I'm Coach Moscotta, I might look to rest Luke Brown. First game back, he had a significant knee injury in the finals last year, Tony, which was about 8 months ago now, but they need him firing at the end of the season. So there's not much to gain. Sometimes if you're 30, 40 points up in the last quarter, you've got to look after your star players so they can get on the field next week. So I'm interested to see how both coaches play it in this last quarter.
Yeah, good point, Adam, because you've got some young blokes as well that you want to get game time into. It's Division 1. There's no easy game in Division 1. It's a strong competition, and if you get to the finals, you want to be making sure that everyone's up and running and know what they need to be doing. So our sponsors today, Hahn and Sportal for the scoreboard, doing a fantastic job there. Dartfish for all our magnificent replays. Wakefield Sports Exercise Clinic for our interchanges. Our interview boundary rider is sponsored by Police Credit Union. And Lachlan, you've got something for us.
Yes, I just finished listening to the Tea Tree Gully discussion very quickly in their huddle. They said in between the arcs is very pleasing. There's still concerns about the transition play. That was prevalent from quarter time. And they're not owning the threat at the minute. You've got to keep doing the contest stuff.
Yeah, interesting that, Adam. Keep doing the contest stuff. You want to, as a coach, you want your players to come off the ground exhausted, knowing that they've played from siren to siren and run themselves into the ground, not come off and say, oh, gee, I've still got a little bit of energy left, because, as we said, there's going to be closer games coming up. And, at the end of this game, one team's going to be 3-3 and one's going to be 2-4. It's going to separate that ladder a little bit.
So Prince Alfred haven't employed the spare here. They've just gone one-on-one across the field, and Jaden Davis starting on the wing in this last quarter.
Blake Penny not really having the day that I've seen him have before. He's going okay. There's no dramas there, but not getting it all his own way. But I see he's drifted off, and the opposition ruckman is, well, he was in that contest around the corner. Olsen now. Tyler West sets himself at the front of the pack. They surround him like seagulls to a chip. It's down. Gee, he had time to step back there, Tyler Martin, and get hold of it. Get hold of it, he does. He's kicked it off one step. That is a magnificent goal. That is the opener. It's also the nail. Let's have a look at this one if possible, because he just really loaded up. There he goes. 1-2. Quick little with the feet. Good work in the goals down there too. Luke Brown.
Yeah, good shepherd on the goal line by Brown, but that's not easy to do, Tony. He's kicked the ball nearly 50 metres from a standing start. Most people need to get a bit of a run up and momentum through the ball, but yeah, he's a strong player, Tyler Martin. He's one of those underrated Division 1 players because he hasn't come back from the higher levels or anything like that. He is a guy that can seriously play. He can play forward, mid and back. He's a great weapon for Coach Moscotta to have. Quite an impressive player. If they had a state team selection or something like that this year, he'd be in the squad for mine. He's a really good player now in the competition.
Ball in the middle, Penny again. Out it comes. Gee, high floating kick. Anyone's ball. Ground ball now. 1-on-1. Oh, little nudge there by Brown. Gee, I'll tell you what, he did that well. got close to the boundary, out of bounds. Just when you were speaking then, when you said I didn't know what you were going to say, and it was Good Shepherd. Thank goodness, because it was a good of everything it was. And, Brown there, he's contesting well on the ground, as well as that beautiful kick that he's got. A lot of byplay here around this pack. West of his goes in, kicks it forward. Look at that, playing in front. Brown held on to, played for it, dropped it. A lot of players around this ball. You don't want to be making the mistake we saw last quarter with the ball bobbing along the ground, and, Prince has got the goal as well. So, interesting spot here. What do you do? Right on the 50. Oh, flick back by West. Look at the players on the outside there. Latham and Olsen were both there waiting for that. It comes down here right in front of us and lunge there. And that is Christopher Howard. Lunge.
That's great desperation in the last quarter, 40-point game. Call these quarters junk time sometimes, Tony, where players can go through the motions, but not Howard. He's been a good player today.
Well, the coach asked for the pressure, and there it is. Penny just pushing away there. No one wins it. Out the back, Martin. Gee, doesn't get his own way. Olsen right in front of us. Just to ground there. And that noise you can hear, folks, that is the football hitting the van. And the umpire, did he call you or me, mate, then? I don't think I've had too many umpires call me, mate. So
he was after a lolly snake, I think.
That's what it is. Effort there on that throw-in. Penny goes smash and misses it. Grazes the knuckles. Good fight on the ground. White, I've really been impressed with James White today. Olsen can't get out. He's flung and spun. Bald gets it on, but he runs right to the outside, Bald. And, doesn't go and support the player. Wasn't probably a lot he could have done there, but he was more interested in running around the outside, getting that ball back. Maybe a set play. Jack Trenorden there. Oh, bursting through. T3 Gully player. Just goes bang with that one and turns it over, and that's Thomas Searles. Ball in hand. Will they go diagonal? Pitt's got the sun in his eyes back here, so he's not going to go there. Low penetrating kick. Oh, just doesn't quite make it. Still in play. Ball doesn't get foot to ball. Gee, fighting well there. Archie Perks. Oh, Olsen, look at him. Puts the Jets on. Away he goes. Nice kick over the back. Oh, gee, that was an interesting one there as Cody Tate was falling to ground and Pitt jumped over the top. An interesting little tussle. So, Jack Trenorden sets himself. Tyler West, you see, coming up the ground. So it's going to be body on body. West it is, gets the tap, gets the big bear paw down. T3 Gully player trying to get it out. Robinson was gliding by there too, looking for it. That's Pitt again, getting a handball off. Gee, not getting his own way there, Hayden Jolly. Pressure on the boundary. Pressure on the boundary. Out of bounds it goes, and
it's called a last disposal.
He has. Free kick to the Gullies here. Olsen too.
You don't see that with the handball too often, do you?
No.
With the last disposal. You see the kick, but they've paid last disposal with the handball out of bounds there.
Have you seen Chris Olsen today? Probably second half.
Yeah, no, he's bobbed up, and we notice him when the player has a haircut like that, Tony, you always notice them. Smart. Not his greatest kick on that occasion.
1 goal, 1 for the quarter. 16-5. Ooh, up there. Down it comes. Bang. Big collision. Riding it well there, Jack Ionello. But look at this. T3 Gully set up out back. This is what I spoke about pre-game. In the games I've seen them previously, they do set up. And it's that talk that we had, Adam, probably went for an hour or so about tactics in football a couple of weeks ago. And that's exactly what you've spoken about. And I brought it into the commentary because it does happen a lot. What do we do when we haven't got the ball? How are we setting up? And turnovers happen in games. As you see Pitt come out again, and there's exactly what we're talking about. Chris Howard reading the ball well.
Just can't exit the defensive 50 and defensive half at the moment, can they, Prince Alfred? They haven't had an inside 50 yet this quarter. Struggling to clear the ball.
Olsen again. Turns and puts the Jets on. Out to this pocket, 2-on-1. Oh, gee, Latham smashed the ground. Brown again. Round the corner. Offline. He's kicked 2 points, but he's kicked 4 goals as well. Well, they're out quickly now. Two possessions, but not outside the 50. That's Macaulay, Luke Macaulay. 1 bounce. Gee, player stopped then. He took the bounce and stopped. Got it to Thomas Brinsley. We've seen a bit of this. There's Pitt running well. Gets the handball across. Whoop, inside out. Another handball. Now they're going to go inside 50. Handball for a shot on goal. Second time today could almost be a coast to coast. Oh, the players go up. Anyone's ball on the ground. Can the Gullies get it out? Gee, only just through Joshua Spence. They've lined up out this side of the ground, and it's Jack Asprey. That ball's hung a long time in the air. Good set of jukes by Asprey. Goes square inside. Player in the green boots. Wow, a young bloke here. Kicks it inside. Dangerous position. We talk about this kick. Having a great day too, Christopher Howard.
Yeah, I've really liked his game today.
Zach McKay too. He's had a great game in his 250th.
Might be a big night at the footy club tonight. Tony, past players
Look
day,
out.
milestones on the field, big win.
Sold the candy there and turned it over. Hayden Jolly. He pushes him down the ground, but he wants to go sideways. You can see that. We'll get selected next week, I think, Hayden Jolly, because he's kicked at the Craig Pit. Pity just undoes some of that work there. He probably getting a tired leg. Round they go. Macaulay running through. There's players under pressure here, though. See that kick there, under pressure? Oh, dropping the watermelon there. Now they're out. Beautiful kick off the left. Player runs down and Penny takes it. He'll look for a handball. No. Here's a nice kick. Tell you who, Adrian Friday's come through the middle of the ground here, not seen, but he's going to trot forward if they can get it to him. They all go up and it goes straight to Benjamin Siebels. Inside again. I've spoken about this today. One bounce. Wilkin. Half forward flank. It misses everyone. First to it, Joshua Spence. Oh, first to it and can't quite pick it up. And he's thrown to the ground. Does not like the attention one bit. And, well, he's going to get
He won
the
a free kick there, did he?
Okay. Yeah.
Just held on to the ball after the
Ragdoll, I think.
Yeah. Not a lot in it.
So that short kick inside. You can see the eyes now looking inside.
Pressure's
Tyler
gone.
Martin. Yep.
Pressure's gone out of this game. It's a game of keepings off and ball use now, isn't it?
Backwards now. And as I said, just setting up and practicing for other games. But Tyler West. Sorry, that was Christopher Howard, sorry. And Olsen. He's really getting a lot of possessions in this second half. Diagonally inside. So they've tried that a couple of times today and it's come undone. McKay it is. He'll go this way, that way. Could have given it off to anyone now. He had three players. Just a boot on the ball there by Tyson Breeden, sorry. Round the corner, pressure kick, Jaden Davis. So this is what happens. 50-50. Player, gee, I'll tell you what, he's tackled from the head to the toes there. And he's caught with holding the ball. That tackle went from the neck to the foot, I reckon. Inside Olsen again. Is the diagonal one there? No, quick feet again. Done this a couple of times. The only trouble is you can run yourself into trouble a couple of times. They spoil each other there. Latham taken high. And, well, he was low to the ground as he went for that ball. Just interesting there. Lachlan on the boundary, please.
Yeah, I was just having a little listen to the conversations going on between the coaches there. T-Tree Gully are pretty keen to take any pace out of this game. They're pretty keen to stop the fast ball movement that we might be seeing now.
Gee, I'll tell you what, that was a handball from Prince Alfred to T-Tree Gully. Offline, so
Lachlan's point's good there. As a coach, you know, the last thing you want is an injury,
yes.
Don't you, when you're 40 points up in a game like this. So it just ends up becoming a game of keepings off like you might do early at training. That's a great mark.
Great grab, wasn't it?
That Ethan Ball, that's a really good mark. Had a lot of high marks today, have we? That was probably the mark of the day. Risky kick.
Oh. They can't see the ball. It's gone invisible. Around the corner, McKay. That's a dangerous kick. Look at West. Just a good presence. That's what you want to see from a key position player. A good presence. Push yourself into the ball, sorry.
What I've liked about West is, I think he's lining up for his fourth here, which is a really good day for a key forward in Division 1 football. But he kicked the 2 goals early to set them up, Tony. He hasn't kicked the junk time goals. He kicked the first 2 of the match. And when the game's hot early, you need to put score on the board. He took 2 marks in the goal square and got them up and running. And he's been a really good player and a great comeback for him this year.
So lining up now, you can see the angle there. He's going to kick from about 40 out. Beautiful run in. Doesn't quite come back though. Just offline for a point. 1 goal 3 for the quarter. Not quite put the cue in the rack. They really, from Tea Tree Gully's point of view, they want work rate now in this quarter. I think there's a lot you can get out of it from a coaching point of view as we're 12 minutes in. And for Prince as well, they've just got to keep toiling away. Don't let the scoreboard influence the way that you play as a player.
When you've got such a congested ladder, Tony, percentage will play a part as well. You know, those teams that finish the year 9, 9, 8, 10 around the mark, you know, games like this, if you let it drift to 60 points, it can hurt you, or if you fight back and get it to 20, either way, it can play a part.
Just going to say, those two players, Howard and also Olsen, having Howard's been really consistent, but Olsen's even getting better as the game goes on. We'll just cross to Lachlan on the boundary.
Yeah, Prince Alfred, the review has already begun. They were just having a conversation on the bench. They didn't think they went 1-to-1 very well today.
Thank you very much for that, Lachlan. And I think a lot of like this, every now and then they put the patterns together. They'll get 2 or 3 possessions. We almost saw one coast to coast. And then you'll see this, a kick to a 50-50. When they enter the forward line and use the ball, just like this, they get possession. So Bald has it in hand, Ethan Bald. He's almost that player that goes between wing to then the next kick into the forward. I'd like to see him probably get a few more possessions and use him that way. I think they've found someone here with young Ethan Bald. He's probably going to have a shot here. Difficult angle. He has to run around a bit and helicopters it just a touch offline, but he could be that role player of between the backs and the mids.
He's a good size, isn't he? Like he's a guy that's not too
him.
big, but he can be a strong key position type player around the ground, similar to what Tyler Martin plays for Tea Tree Gully, Tony. That's the type of player that they'd be looking for. He had that little Brian Myers from Geelong run up there, didn't he? Really arced out to the right and pulled the ball back across his body on the set shot there.
So Riley Verrill this time, interesting, instead of Joshua Spence. So down here is Tyler Martin. There he is, just floating in at the back there. I saw him setting up.
They've done that well again today, Tony. We've spoken about Tea Tree Gully's kick-outs. You know, when you kick the ball out, Tony, the opposition's more likely to score than what you are. So it's about, you want to exit the ball, but you don't want to give the opposition a look at it either. And I can't remember a kick-in rebounding for a goal from Tea Tree Gully, and probably why there's 7 goals up at the moment.
Just cross over to Lachlan on the boundary.
Yeah, first bit of bad news for the day. There's on the injury front, Zach Spence has sprained his wrist. Nothing too serious, but that'll probably see him out for the rest of today.
Joshua Spence, that would be, is it? Number 5. So, yes, it is. So that's why he wasn't taking the kick in. So that's the test for Tea Tree Gully in that, they have to get someone else to take the kick-ins as that ball across the side there. 9 goals, 9 they go to Prince Alfred. Tea Tree Gully 16-7. So 1 goal, 3 to 2 points for the quarter. And around about 10 to 12 minutes to go. Shadows are getting long across the ground, but beautiful. We're 2 weeks away from winter. He's gone the barrel. That's what we love to see. Have a look at that. Straight into the arms of Jack Trenorden. Tell you what, it just about put me through the roof of the trailer, that kickers. The old days came back. Craig Pitt it is. Goes out on that angle. Far side, scoreboard. Right in front of them there. Look at that. 16-7, 103, 99-63, 40 points. And I did a bit of research through the week. We've got 3 playing coaches in Division 1. In the AFL, 1981, if you don't mind. 43 years ago, Adam, since we've had a playing coach. So we are leading the way in the Adelaide Footy League, and good on them. I admire them as that kick comes forward. Oh, good smother. Opportunity here. Prince Alfred pick it up. They give it back. Oliver Clark this way, that way. They've gone backwards 50 metres. Now the big left foot, and that's a big left foot by Jaden Davis. Up they fly and through for another point. Yeah, so over 40 years since we've had a playing coach in the AFL, and here we are. Adelaide Footy League, and we've got a couple in the other divisions as well, and good on them.
It's a big responsibility. Personally, not a massive fan of it in modern footy. I don't know how you can do both. need good help on the bench, don't you? But having said that, you know, I've got a lot of respect for Craig Pitt and what he's done this year, the play that he's doing, the composure and calmness. But they're going to be in for a long season, perhaps, Tony. This is their fourth loss in a row, Prince Alfred. And, yeah, they want to stay out of that relegation zone. I'm not sure who they're playing next week, but it'll be a big game for them just to stay out of that bottom two.
So Ryan Heffernan it is, taking the mark, just looking around. Comes right down here in front of us. Opportunity there for Adrian Friday, couldn't take it. Gee, around the corner there, Jaden Davis inside the square again. So they do like using the inside and then getting it out the other side. And good feet, Jack Ionello, good pace. He's got players inside as well. He goes down the line. Gee, really pinpoints that kick. And coming out, Christopher Howard, he reads the play so well. Yet another turnover, but guess what? This time, Ionello, he goes a bit shorter. Right on that far wing by the big light tower out there. Tea Gully, Pertaringa Oval, looking magnificent as that kick comes in. Pinpoint, oh, a little bit high. That's okay. Taking that is Josh Perks. Geez. Yeah, I was going to say, he squeezed himself up there, didn't really give himself enough room, gave it to another player under pressure, and that's what Tea Gully want. They want to put pressure on. McKay comes in to help. Quick hands, gets it across. Howard, in slow motion, just dribbles it down. Free kick down the field. Doesn't matter. Brown just takes off from the middle of the ground, the wing. Gee, it's a high kick. It's going to have to bounce right here. 3-on-1. That's made it very hard. The one can't quite win out. Now it's 3-on-2. Out they come. Nice work. I reckon that's Oliver Clark a long, long way down the ground. And that kick comes back. Oh, held a long time in the air. Perks is good enough. Turned around quickly. Bombs it down. Brazel's down there. Gee, William Charlick. Gee, tries to get up and take it with him. That's good pressure by Tea Gully there.
He's normally a defender, Will Charlotte, getting a little run up at full forward and just dropped the mark in the goal square just at the last second, I think. Be disappointed, the young fella.
Gully's come out. Noah Hyde.
We'll try and keep up and about here, Tony, but this thing's gone out of it, hasn't it? A lot of ring-a-ring-a-rosy at the moment.
Oh, always get something out of a game of footy, mate. I love it. Look at that. That is courage personified, and don't let the scoreboard influence the game, and well done by Jack Trenorden. I think he's been beaten by Penny in a lot of the ruck taps, but just little
he's tried hard all
like
day,
that.
hasn't he? He's
been like that.
He's got
like to see that.
Got some possessions around the ground. He's a young player as well, so only upside for him.
This player, James White, has sort of snuck up on us a bit, and he's a very good player. Gives it to Elliot Brogdon. Inside, to their last two inside 50s made it hard for the forwards. There's Brown around the corner, and look at that bounce. Just doesn't work for him.
The wrong and just
1 goal,
missed.
4. He's kicked 4 goals, 3 for the game. Get him off, they say. We'll just cross to Lockie on the boundary, I think, Adam. Oh,
See how he goes.
have a crack. Don't listen to the commentators then. That was tongue-in-cheek. You wouldn't get him off the ground. You'd leave him out there and get him up to his 5th goal as they come out that far side. Princes, look, 2-on-1, Tea Gully. 1 goes up. Howard will get it again. It's bounced up to him. 1, 2, 3 now. Players involved. That was Joshua Spence out there in the orange boots. So he has come back on from that wrist. Riley Verrill. So they're sort of gone around in that arc here, Adam, as they're out on the wing here through Noah Hyde. Couldn't quite. That's a nice takedown low, below the knees for a big fella, Braden Rashwall. That gives you something to look forward to in the future. And I've liked his game today. Benjamin Siebels at times. Talk about playing the role. Geez, popped it up though. He has popped it up. Oh, 1, 2. Player fall on the ground. Rushwall this time couldn't. Jolly can. 1, 2. A lot of players just standing still watching after Jolly got rid of that ball. They all just stood there and watched, and Olsen just chips in. They're going to go diagonal now. Cody Tape pops it out in that pocket. Latham. Yeah, don't bother leading. He's probably going to have a shot.
One just quick note about Siebels down back. Traditional socks up player, Tony. You'd like that?
Love it.
As well, boys, as he comes in. I won't just finish this thought in a minute.
Call it through, mate.
I think he's going to kick the goal here.
Brody Latham.
And he has. Good goal. Makes Martin a little bit more better on the scoreboard. Meantime, just wanted to mention the crowd. You can hear them going off behind me. They've been doing absolutely brilliantly all day. It sounds like there's about 10,000 people up there.
Yeah, it's past players' day, Lockie, and well, I assume that meant anyone, so I helped myself to the feed at half time for the past players, but I'm just not a past player at Tea Tree Gully. There was nothing that said you had to be a player here. I have played on this ground though, so well, good on them, as Tyler West there just having a well-earned rest on the boundary. It will be a big night up here, and it's always great when you have your celebrations like this and you get a win as well, as we're just waiting for, well, this will be interesting. Jack Trenorden's waiting to come on. So in the ruck is Josh Perks. Couldn't quite get over the top there. Good battle in the middle. James White. A lot of those clearances today, but they've been like this, the 50-50s. Craig Pitt, a little bit of airtime there. Handball's back. Just wobbling around. And players just getting up. Cody Tape. Up and down. Perks out of the ruck. Round it comes. 2-on-1, Tea Tree Gully. Oh, looping handball there. Zach McKay, an outstanding game. Gee, I'll tell you what, who's going to pick the best players, because there's a lot there. Oh, this way, that way. Noah Hyde sells the candy. Right, left, goes on the left. High ball. Siebels it is. And he will take the free kick here as it goes across the boundary. This time, just missed that target again. A little bit tight on the kick, Jack Ionello. So 23-minute mark winds around. You can see the long shadows. Huge crowd. We've talked about that all day. But a magnificent setting here at Tea Tree Gully. There's a pile of people up on the hill back there. There's a pile behind the goals, and there's an absolute plethora. I can't spell it, but it sounds good.
Plethora.
Yeah, of people. Well, there's a lot in behind us as well as we look at the Prince Alfred bench there. Oh, around the corner. Likes it too. And that is Cody Tape with his first for the day in junk time. 3 goals, interesting, 3 goals, 4 in the last quarter. They've had 7 scoring shots. So first quarter, 7 scoring shots. Second quarter, 5. Third quarter, 7 scoring shots. Last quarter, 7, but they've kicked 3-4. Unfortunately for Prince Alfred, they've only kicked the 3 points, so just dwindled off there. So it currently sits at 62 points, 21, 20 and 33 with the leads.
Yeah, they'll be disappointed, Prince Alfred. They haven't scored a goal in this last quarter, have they? Tea Tree Gully thoroughly deserved the position they've been in. They were so potent and efficient early in the game. 7 straight goals in the first quarter set the match up for them, and they've just been able to keep the scoreboard ticking over all day. I've been really impressed, Tony. Like I said, I called the game out here last year, Prince Alfred v Tea Tree Gully, and Tea Tree Gully were beaten 17 goals to 2. I just checked in that game. So it's a great turnaround in 12 months. And for mine, Tony, Tea Tree Gully might be the 3rd best team in the competition right now, behind the big top 2 teams. So they've done really well and surprised me with some of their attacking prowess in particular. They've been solid defensively, improved in that area, but they're putting some good scores on the board. So
Zach McKay, just put that ball high there, Blake Penny. I think they've got a very good team, I'll be honest, because that game against Port District, they lost. Oh, just play it. Drag the ground now. Just keep an eye on this for a moment. Clark it is. Been helping out down back. Tyson Brazel now. Spears that Brazel. Kicks it across. Thank you, Hugo. Around the corner. Looked like Davis, was it? Maybe.
Yeah.
It was. Yep. So that game against Port District, they had no interchange and they only lost it by a kick. So that, quite possibly could have been another win as well. So, the second half of the season, they'll come home and, if they can get that full squad going, and like I said, Luke Brown, well, look at that today. 4 goals he's kicked, 4 goals, 3. So,
and he's a bonus player. We weren't sure if he was going to play this year. So if you look at they've had narrow losses to Port Districts, Glenunga, and Sacred Heart, who are the top 3 teams at the moment. So they're around the mark, and they actually put a score on the board against Glenunga, who actually don't let anyone score. So, very impressed with Tea Tree Gully so far.
Ooh, this way, that way. Gee, Bald again. He's been a very good player. I've liked watching him today, and, this is Benjamin Ionello with 3 goals. So he's the left footer, is he?
Yeah, he's a lefty.
Oh,
He doesn't like these set shots.
He'll probably kick this one because this is a very difficult kick.
No pressure on this one.
Oh, he's on the siren too. Looks like he's going to drop punt. Let's just have a look at our final score as the kick comes in just offline there. As the 4:35 from Perth to Adelaide flies over the top. That is the final score. 16 goals. Sorry, that's 18 goals, 8. 116. Plays 9 goals, 11. Or was that a final? 9-12, that is. 66. So that looks to be, if my maths is correct, a
51 points, can we say?
If that point counts, it'll be a 50. So a very good win by Tea Tree Gully out here today. Absolutely sensational. So players just celebrating and shaking hands as we have a look at the umpires marching off. So scorers: Tea Tree Gully 1 to Olsen, 1 to McKay, 1 to Tape, Tyler Martin with 2, 1 to Robinson, 1 to Braden Rushwall, Luke Brown with 4 if you don't mind, 3 to Tyler West playing his part, Brodie Latham 1, Jack Asprey 1, and Prince Alfred, Tyson Brazel 2, Lachlan McNamara 1, Jaden Davis 1, Oliver Clark 1, Benjamin Ionello 3, Ethan Bald 1, as we take a look at the highlights.
You can see the highlights here, Tony, from early in the match, and that's when they set the game up, didn't they, Tea Tree Gully? They just had a little burst, and they seemed to score every time they went inside 50. Tyler West kicked those first 2 goals, and then the goal assist there to set the game up for Tea Tree Gully. He was a really good player today. Not sure what the injury to Sumner is, the full back from Prince Alfred. Hopefully that's not a long-term injury, Tony, because they really missed him today. They couldn't put a spoil on the ball down back, and he's a full back that wears his opponent like a glove and gives them nothing. So they really need him back. You can see Luke Brown, first kick for the year, went through for a goal there. So yeah, I was impressed with Tea Tree Gully, not knowing if Brown was going to play this year, Tony. It looks like he is going to suit up and they can get him through the season. It's a huge addition. You can't underestimate how much that means to have a player with 190 AFL games running around with these young players. And he's a really sneaky forward option, Tony. Luke Brown, for his size, he can get the ball on the ground. He's a good mark for his size. He commands a good defender, doesn't he? And that takes the pressure off the other players. You can see Prince Alfred leaving the field now. Looks like we might almost be ready. We've got some award winners for today.
Yeah, well, interesting there. Craig Pitt, he was
great
today.
Great
game.
He was Prince Alfred's best for mine.
Yeah, Brazel as well. Goal scorers: McNamara, Brazel with 2, McNamara 1, Jaden Davis with 1, Oliver Clark with 1, Benjamin Ionello with 3 absolute ripping goals, and then couldn't kick the set shots.
3 set shot behinds.
Yeah, and Ethan Bald, I really liked his game. As the game wore on, you start to recognise these players, and the call came out not to go forward as we're just getting set to go to our award winners. So Lachlan, all yours with our award winners for the day.
Rightio, boys. Yes, down here with the 3 lucky award winners. The boys played really well. First up, winning the $100 Belgravia / New Balance voucher and the Archie's footwear is Chris Olsen. Chris, you must be wrapped with your game today.
Nah, it was good, just team effort, mate. I think it was hard to pick a best 3 here. I think all 21 of us played excellent. So yeah, it was really good.
The Neomorph mouthguard magic moment. Tyler West, talk us through that moment on the boundary line where you slotted that goal home from about 40 metres out.
Oh, my hands weren't working today, so just had to make it work on the ground and got lucky in the end.
And of course, the Moseley Bar and Grill best team man, Chris Howard. You won that one. Chris, you must be delighted. What makes this team so special?
I don't know. We're pretty together. Like we're close mates. So we've had a group that's been together for a while. So yeah, we're starting to gel. And we've got a bit of confidence, and yeah, that's it.
Thank you very much. Back to you guys in the commentary box.
Outstanding work, Lachlan, on the boundary with those 3 players. So Chris Olsen, Tyler West, and Chris Howard, and you could have thrown a blanket pretty much across them.
Very even performance for Tea Tree Gully, isn't it, Tony? It's going to be tough doing the votes and award winners today because they've got 15, 20 guys really contributing. I like Tyler Martin's game again because he's doing it in all parts of the ground. After 6 goals up forward last week, he plays midfield, he's behind the ball. Like I said, the addition of Luke Brown Tyler West, who's getting better every week after missing the game last year. For them to take the next step, they just need to get another key position defender potentially and another kicker off half back. But very impressed with Tea Tree Gully this year, Tony. They've taken another step forward after making a preliminary final last year.
Well, we speak of that, of course, Zach McKay, outstanding game today for his 250th, and well, he will be getting chaired off the ground. I'm sure we'll see that in a moment. So
I think they're fighting over it now, Tony, whether who gets to chair him off.
Oh, we might see if we can get a bit of vision of that.
Great stalwart for the Tea Tree Gully Football Club, though, McKay. Been a really good player for a long period of time. So
there it is there. Yep.
Yeah, good on him. He's been great camera work there from our guys. No, he's been a great player for a long time. 250 games in local footy, Tony. They only play 18 games a season, not 25, so it's longevity.
Yes.
He's been around a long time, so good on him.
We talk about the season, and you spoke about Tea Tree Gully. We were speaking about it earlier, and we understand with Prince Alfred I think there was 25 players from last week's grand final that weren't playing from last year's grand final last week, so I think they had 11. So they'll still stay in Division 1, we hope, and playing in around that mid area. But there's an opportunity, because I'm surprised with Glenunga that they lost a lot, but they've actually been able to stay with us. But I was speaking with a few people around the league, and it might be that year for an opportunity where a team just pops up, and it could be a Tea Tree Gully, it could be a Broadview. It's a little bit of a changing of the guard. And if you can get everything right and set yourself up throughout the year, and you come to the finals and have a good final series, you pop up and you win the grand final. And it could be, there's Sacred Heart, there's Broadview, there's, as we said, Tea Tree Gully in the mix now. Glenunga are right up there again. So outstanding. And
Division 1's always wide open though, Tony. You've always got a couple of teams at the bottom, but those teams at the top, Glenunga are the clear standout for mine, but Tea Tree Gully most impressive.
A couple of players. We're joined by Lachlan Gould from the Boundary, and a different view down there from the Boundary, Lachlan, and some of the better players for Tea Tree Gully. I'll go through them. So Zach McKay, number 3, you saw a bit of him, especially early when they were coming out around the Boundary with their style of play. How did you see his input today?
Yeah, he was absolutely fantastic, as you mentioned. Really, really important, especially early, as you just said. Yeah, he was phenomenal today as well.
Tyler Martin, the vice captain, number 9. He started in the middle. We alluded to Adam as well. Tyler Martin, a really good game, but once again, you saw a lot of him close to the boundary here. Really good competitor.
Yeah, he does compete well, as we saw when he took that massive hit as well. Was lucky enough to be able to have a quick chat to him. He was pretty happy with how his game was going, and it was all right, thankfully, after that hit as well.
I'm going to throw to Adam here. I haven't seen a lot of this young lad, but I'd like to find out a bit more about him. James White, number 10, when he was in the middle area, he did get a lot of pressure kicks, I guess, turning around, but he got some clearances and seemed to do a really industrious role today. How did you see James White's involvement?
Yeah, to mine, I haven't seen a lot of him over the years. He might be a new young player into their squad. He might have been an underage SANFL player, potentially, that's come back into the team. But he's one of those, you spoke before, Tony, about putting an umbrella over about a dozen of their players. He's a guy that potentially could have been in the votes. A lot of kicks around the ground, good mover. You look at their team out there, Tony, they're a young team, aren't they? Traditionally, young teams in Division 1 can struggle, and you see Prince Alfred have gone young this year and they're starting to struggle. Tea Tree Gully have got a really young team with a couple of core players with a bit of experience, but they look well drilled and they look hungry, and they've, like I said, they've improved defensively from last year and they've improved their attack. So it's probably why the win-loss column's looking pretty healthy for them at the moment. They've had a couple of tight losses, could even be a little bit higher up the ladder.
And I talk about the swing man, and I talk about a player, another one with a dot next to his name, Jake Robinson, number 11, and he's that real bull in around the ball, but you can find him in the games I've been to at either end of the ground.
Yeah, he's a strong-bodied player, isn't he? He's one of those guys that doesn't rely on just pure fitness to get around the ground. He's a bit like Hayden Jolly, isn't he? He's smart. He knows where the ball's going, and he can play forward, mid, and back. So, again, like Justin Moscato, I think he's set this up on purpose. He's got a versatile team. He can throw players, from the bench, rotate. You can play forward. You can play back. He probably has a couple of key position players that are locked in, and then a lot of role players all around them.
I'll just stay with Adam on this one, because let's talk about Luke Brown. The bombs into the forward line, they were really Tyler West-centric, if you like, early in the game, and they were getting goals. And then Prince Alfred, it sort of swung back their way defensively. They had Craig Pitt coming in with the big fist and the spare man back, and they had to find another avenue because the big bomb in wasn't working. they started to look towards the Luke Browns and, at times we talk about Brodie Latham popping up, Jack Asprey, but Luke Brown especially, what a role he played up forward when the two big key forwards weren't firing.
Well, I think what we found, Tyler West kicked the first 2 goals of the match early, so then of course the coaches get into action, they send their best defender across, and then Luke Brown's, an ex-AFL player running around, with the second, third defender on him, and he's kicked 4 goals 3, I think, today. First game for the season. This was supposed to be his rusty first outing, Tony, so he's only going to have upside. Luke Brown, he's a great forward option because he's such a good competitor for his size. Known as a defender when he played AFL, but if I was a Division 1 defender, I wouldn't be excited about lining up against him because he competes on the ground, competes in the air, he's a good set shot, he's a good snap, he can do it all.
He's got a powerful kick too. We see that from the 50-metre line. No worries of making the distance. I'll come back to you, Lachlan. Number 15, Christopher Howard, the gentleman with the helmet on, and he held up early in the game, and then throughout the game, just really rock solid across that back line. And so how did you see Christopher Howard's game?
Yeah, I thought he was absolutely brilliant. Obviously, he won the Moseley Bar and Grill Best Team Man. Fantastic work down there. And is there any wonder why he was absolutely fantastic? He said you can't really pick one or two, but he really did set up the team today.
I'll talk about Blake Penny because love coming out here. He is one of my favourite players in the league, and he's a real character. But he just toiled away today. He was up against Jack Trelawney, as we said. He won the physical battle. He ended up going a kick behind the play and having to do that role, which he did quite well and filled the hole and so on. He didn't have the dominant ruck sort of play that we see where around the ground he's taking a lot of marks on his own, crashing packs and that. But he did his role today. So probably up there in their top 6 or 7. We've got a lot of dots down there. And we did put Jack Asprey down there as well, just with his couple of goals and played a role. We come across to Prince Alfred, Tyson Brazel with his 2 goals, Lachlan McNamara with his 1, Jaden Davis with 1, Oliver Clark with 1, Benjamin Ionello with 3, Ethan Bald with 1. So first of all, Adam, Tyson Brazel up forward, probably stifled a little bit.
I don't think Tyson will put this down as one of his better games. It's not starved of opportunity a little bit at times for mine. He needs to get the hands out in front. He does great body work and tries to mark the ball on his chest. So they need more out of him as the weeks go on.
All right, and of course we go through Craig Pitt, Luke McCauley, Jaden Davis, Oliver Clark, Hayden Jolly, Benjamin Siebels at times, and Ethan Bald. All had quite good games as well. Well, that's our wrap-up today. As we said, big winners, 18 goals, 8, 116, T3 Gully, 9-12, 66, Prince Alfred. So 50-point win after leading by 21, 20, 33 and 50. So 4-quarter win today, which is outstanding. Full-time scores from other grounds. I'm not sure that we've got them at the moment. Just have a look. We'd like to thank, of course, our production team, which is Elias on the roof there, James, of course, out here with our next camera, and also Hugo. Here are our scores today. So, of course, there's our top score. What have we got next, Lachlan?
Yeah, so T3 Gully, obviously we mentioned they're the winners out here today. Port Districts, they defeated Sacred Heart. St. Peter's defeated Brighton Bombers, and then Broadview won away at Payneham, and Golden Grove very, very close against Glenunga.
Couple of really good games there. Glenunga winning at Golden Grove. They go to 6 and zip. Broadview, big win for them because they're in that logjam and everyone expects them to be up. And Brighton, for mine, they needed to win that to get away from the relegation, but they're in danger. So St. Peter's on the board, first win of the season.
First win, very good point there. And look at that one, Port District, they bounced back from Anzac Day a couple of weeks back, and that would have been a great battle leading into it, but of course games aren't played on paper. So there are our other scores there. Remember, Between the Posts, our magnificent footy show with Tommy Javor hosting. Well, there'll be some other peanut on there this week, and that happens to be myself. So look out, anything could happen. So we're on Between the Posts, filming footy, of course, filming footy stats, as we said, 1,500 to 2,000 events per game. There is so much there that you can go through with your stats. You can get individual and team stats. You can get team players. You can also look at the opposition, Lachlan, and get a bit of background on them. So I would like to thank all of our production crew. Adam Jeffries, an absolute pleasure to work with you, mate. I've been looking forward to it. Lachlan Gould, one of our real up-and-coming stars. It's been a pleasure. I was looking forward to working with you today to see how you went down there on the boundary, mate, and outstanding. Fantastic day down here, Tea Tree Gully Past Players Day. Thank you to all our viewers Australia-wide. My name is Tony Neal, and we thank you for viewing our magnificent game of football today.